A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Hey, you already know what it does. Gang, gang, baby.
Rims, shake out my rims. I feel like burning.
I forgot my fucking backwoods, so I'm just rolling some joints and shit. You already know what it does.
Somebody Uber this man some backwoods.
Yeah.
This is live, isn't it?
I'm Styles the
Somebody can come
Prophet.
through.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Gang, gang, you already know what it does. We're the Basement Weirdos, and this is the 4G Audio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to take 2 seconds here to pause while you go and subscribe.
That's right. Hit that red button.
That
All
like
right.
button, too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. But tonight, happy Friday, everybody. We got
Friday.
the ocean in the building.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming out, man.
No,
Of course, man.
noise.
Probably happy to be here. It's like we scheduled 3 times.
Yeah,
think so,
sorry, man.
yeah.
That's fucking because of my
Cheers.
back.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My
Jonesy.
yeah, man, there was definitely some time there where I was like, man, I'm not really like, I don't know if I like really believe in God.
Yeah, you were
But-
telling me that you were hoping to make it down at some point, like
But there
just
was-
downstairs. You know?
Yeah, man, that's it, man. Yeah, like there was times where I was like literally praying, like, will this go away? And like, yeah, man, I'm laying there like shit. Like I'm working my way up to just be able to go like down the stairs and sit on the couch and watch TV. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm working my way up. That's like I'm like training like for Everest, but it's like I just want to go down the stairs and sit down. Like, I just want to wash my hands this week or whatever. But yeah. We had to cancel a couple episodes. I think we canceled 3 episodes for that. But now I'm doing my physio and whatever. Kind of hurting today, but it's because I didn't do my shit yesterday.
Right.
You know, stretches.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was lazy yesterday because fucking St. Patty's Day. And we had an episode Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right.
And I didn't do a whole lot of exercise Wednesday either. But so
Yeah.
now I'm paying for it. I guess I just have to make up for it.
Gotta stay moving, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah.
went on again after that show too, right? You were on like Instagram, like
Did it live, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was wild. I
Was
only
it?
posted it just because it was wild. There's just a bunch of dudes in there talking about slavery and shit. And I was
Oh,
just like,
wow.
Oh.
I
How did
was
you
like,
remember that?
I
And
was like-
you're the host.
well, yeah, and I'm
You're
like,
the
okay, well, I'm
host.
like, I want to like control the conversation and like continue on where I was going with like my conversation or
Right.
whatever, or like like.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be rude and be like, I don't want to talk about
So,
this, guys.
yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
You just let them into your live and they...
So yeah, I just sat there. Was like, oh yeah, shit. Like I don't really have a place to say anything here, and like it's gotten away from me now. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do I do? Like everyone's
Yeah.
just like here doing
if
shit.
I say anything, does that like... You know what I mean? Are they going to be like, shut up, man? You
in
know?
this day and age,
Don't...
yeah, you can't say anything without.
But it's funny though. I will say one thing was funny is Pickman. Shout out Pickman. I don't know. I will say this when I quote him. I don't know if he's joking or not, but he says the slavery is fake.
Because it's fake?
Yeah, and
Like
I
in
don't.
a serious way, or that's what he's
And
trolling
and that's
people?
just the thing is he's a troll, right? So I don't know
Yeah.
if he's like trolling or whatever.
What's
but
the argument of
He,
being...
I was gonna say he did come with some points and shit, but like, there was one
What's the
dude.
point?
Yeah, like they couldn't have been that good.
Well, no, and the thing is like, so Malcolm's showing a bunch of pictures. He's like, is this fake? Is this fake? And I think what I gathered from maybe because like he didn't really get to say a whole lot, but I think what I gathered from it is he's saying that like they got paid some kind of money for it or something, and I'm like. But like, I don't know. Anyways, like fucking whatever. But I like,
Yeah, that's a
I mean,
whole
how is that?
argument I don't even
How
wanna
is
have.
that? Yeah, exactly. How is
Yeah.
that like an argument to that? Like, well, that's not like fair though
But
either.
in,
You know.
in doing that now, that's like an argument against yourself, because like you're
You
just
get-
showing, you'll say whatever. That's a big statement. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want ever to be on record saying something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially for
Well, and that's why I
however
say
much,
that's why I
like-
say like I'm quoting him or I'm saying that he said this, but I
Yeah.
don't know his how
Oh,
serious
I
he
don't,
was.
I don't know him.
or
I'm just speaking
whatever,
on character.
But like, yeah.
yeah, like how someone moves. Like,
Yeah.
I
But
wouldn't
yeah,
do that.
it got a little. I was just like, I don't know. I even commented on like rock and hard place because I'm like I said, I don't want to be like, hey guys, like stop that. we're talking
might
about
just be-
this or
you
whatever,
might-
right? Because then it's just
You're like being what they're talking about.
I look
almost,
insensitive
you know,
or whatever, right? And like
the
whatever.
white
I'm
man
not
telling
like
you guys.
But it
all
is your
to stop.
podcast.
Sorry,
Like,
I
you
had
can
to say it.
control. Like,
true, yeah.
you have a
It's not what
tone and
it
a
is.
theme. You know, someone can come here and like disrespect what you guys are about. Like, I
Yeah.
would hope you guys wouldn't tolerate it. You know what I mean?
No,
No,
true.
man.
Because like then you're promoting something that none of you in the room would be for.
Exactly.
Like, I wouldn't want to be on camera.
That gets away from like our originality
Yeah.
and like what we're about.
You have a brand also, right? You want to
Yeah.
be consistent with the brand.
Yeah.
Is.
But yeah, I just fucking either way. Yeah, I went on because I was just like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm just chilling here, whatever. I'm like, I'll see what's going on, whatever. And I just figured like some more Instagram
content.
content.
Club,
yeah,
you gotta do
whatever,
it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need the press, right?
Mhm.
Like,
But so yeah, and then I posted because I'm like, I feel like I need to put this on record. Like this happened. like,
Yeah.
you know, like. But yeah, there was a guy. I don't know. I saw him in one of Pikmane's. It was either Pikmane or Vante's podcast or whatever. And the one dude that was on, he was talking a lot, but he was on their podcast as well, and he came on with us. I was like, "Who's this guy?" And Pikmane's like, "Oh, he's cool. Like, let him in, right?"
Yeah.
But anyways, either way, regardless, fucking getting
this whole controversy.
too far into this, yeah.
Yeah, that's that's what Styles did Wednesday night.
But yeah, if you wanna go check it out, it's on Instagram. It's in our IGTV, and I'm not fucking complaining or like bitching or like whatever. I'm just saying that at that time I was like, I can't forcefully change the conversation
Yeah, you
of
didn't know
this
what to do.
because or the topic of this because I'm like seem insensitive or like, you know, like whatever, right? Anyways,
I
we got
get it.
Ocean in the motherfucking
Yeah.
building. Again, thanks for coming in. Sorry about all the fuck ups and
I
not
didn't take
even
it personal,
fuck ups.
man. I
It's
didn't
just
take
like
it
yeah.
personal.
Yeah, so thanks for being patient with all that. But finally you're here. Real quick, do you take like edibles and shit?
I do.
So this isn't like technically edibles, it's just like oils and shit.
Okay.
But like this one, if you take like a whole dropper,
Yeah, they're all different.
it's
like
500
percentages.
milligrams. Like that's 500
Sure.
That's the
milligrams.
strongest one, yeah.
And then this one, if you take a full dropper, it's like I think 33 milligrams.
Okay.
And then this one is math. 250.
250.
Yeah. So
Right in the middle.
choose your weapon
Yeah.
I definitely will. I'll pick it when the time.
if you want.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, so I see this year you definitely fucking haven't let up. You've been fucking putting out shit.
I feel like
Quite a
for the
bit.
past while, like if you've been following me, like I haven't been too consistent. So now it's like now you know every month. Like even if you forget, it's coming up 21st. Like why is that important? It's like oh yeah, Ocean's dropping some shit.
Yeah.
Dope.
Like if Drake drops, like let him drop. Like listen to the full thing. But you know, like you have something from last month, you got something new, and like within like 6 months, now you got like a full project from me. You know.
Right.
'Cause
True.
I feel
True.
like I have a small following. You know, it's more like a cult type of thing. You know.
Right.
But
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying
So-
to. Like, I know where I am in the market. You know, like
Right.
it's alternative. It's not like.
So are you just dropping singles like regularly once a month? Like are you doing
This
a
is-
certain day type thing? You mean like you mentioned the 21st or whatever?
Yeah, so like my thing, because it's 2021, you know.
Okay,
kick
yeah,
things
yeah.
off, so
Oh,
21st
nice.
of every month, I want to drop a new song. I'll give you some visuals with it, like a video. Like so far, I did rims, just
I
like
saw
to
that,
test it
yeah.
out. And then we tried doing something more like cinematic. Like I got my boy Michael Devon on it, Trunkin Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched that with 350, but I just filmed something right now with.
Shout out 350 too.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys fuck with them for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I just did something with Fenty Films. I don't know if you guys ever heard of
Fenty?
Fenty Films.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. No.
No.
He's a new kid. He does like a lot of like the street stuff for the kids, you know.
Okay. Like from Ottawa too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Six,
Nice.
six, six.
But we did something pretty cool, I think. I had a previous project called Future Trunks. I don't know if you guys ever peeped that. It's
No,
on
no.
Spotify too.
When was that?
2019.
Okay.
Was
Okay.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty far off, but it was like Dragon Ball Z themed,
Okay.
Like,
Oh, cool.
I really embodied like Future Trunks, just like an alter ego. Like in the streets, they call me Trunks, So
Okay.
like, my
Okay.
hair was blue. I just like I don't know. I was just all about myself. Like I just like got out of a bad relationship, I really took a break from what music was to me.
Yeah.
I just embodied the story. It's like, okay, this is what I've been through, but I know what to do now,
You kind of
So-
like stepped back and looked at it
Yeah,
from a
like
different
welcome to the
perspective,
future.
sort
You
of
can
like.
call me Chunks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like I've been this before, and I went with it. People liked it. It's cool.
like
So I tried to bring it back and not so serious. That's why I did like Trunkin Out. Like
Yeah.
if you're following, you understand. But if not, it's just a high energy type of song.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I like
So have
that.
you performed shows here at Ottawa?
I did a few at St. Bridges, and that was pretty cool. It's like an old church. I don't know if you guys ever been
Okay.
there.
No. Where's that
No.
at?
Just like right on Dalhousie, a little off there. George
Okay.
Street.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I did one downtown too, across from Bourbon. Just around the corner, Avant-Garde.
Yeah.
I did like a little mini show. You can watch what I did on.
It's online now?
Yeah, I did the full Future Chunks album. on
Okay,
there.
sick.
It's like a small intimate thing, but like I've just done like small thing. I've never done like stadiums, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like my music is more intimate anyway.
Small
You know?
club.
Yeah, I would love to do
Yeah.
this for a couple thousand. Like a whole stadium. It's
Yeah,
like
man.
what am I saying?
Well,
you know,
that's huge.
I need like
man,
dances. Like I'm working on it, but like
Yeah.
right now it's just like yo, give me like a. Right now I'd be
see,
happy just to perform. You know.
And like you say, you kind of have like a cult following or whatever. So I find like that's almost that kind of coincides with that same style. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I got this many followers, but every one of these followers is like fucking singing my
Yeah.
I
lyrics
know
or whatever,
consistently
right?
when I drop something.
So then, like, if you're out and it's like, I would rather actually MGK his first show here. He said rather play a fucking like little intimate
Right,
show
yeah.
than like a big fucking like stadium show or whatever, right? I mean, he might not have filled the stadium, but he didn't want to play a big event. He wanted to play like a fucking smaller venue or
Yeah.
whatever. But my point is like I feel like that kind of coincides, like how you're saying like you playing like the little intimate shows and shit. It kind of goes with your following. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like.
I just feel it's more honest to where I'm at right now. Like more
Right.
as my music evolves and I reach a larger audience, like obviously I want to have those songs that like I'm hoping to do like more international. Like I have Italian background,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to use that as it's really big like Italian drills right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So just like if I know hip hop is a big thing, like I can do my version of that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Fuck the wave. Like I'm always just gonna do what I'm doing, you know? And if I know people like it because I give them something that's originally always mine, you know? It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not cloud chasing. Like I have an idea. I'm basing on something that I've been through personally, you know? And then
It's more
like I get to
genuine.
have fun. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's not like trying to be that sound, Jonesy. It's not trying to be that sound or
Yeah.
be this sound.
I try
You're-
to live as the canvas. Like I'm an artist, and I kind of like put through everything I'm writing in a song. I kind of like put myself through, good or bad.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, if I'm happy in a relationship, but like a song about really about breaking up, it's like suddenly now I'm having fights, just like I can write a song. You know?
Yeah. I definitely can tell like that you like you're passionate when you write, or like that you not even just write, but like doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because just the way you fucking attack the scenario, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can tell that you like I say, you're not just fucking like making shit up. You're just like you're doing it for yourself, you know what I mean? Like I kind of see that.
Yeah.
And not, I don't mean doing it for yourself only, but I just mean in the sense that you're like, you at the end, it's what you want to hear, right? It's not like I said, you're not trying to be that sound or that sound. It's
Yeah.
what you're shit. And a lot. The thing is they say, I quoted this before. I forget who said it, but the person who's just gonna like ride the wave or like hit that sound that's out right now is gonna die out way before the person that's making the music that they like.
Well, what happens when
like
you're on
with
top?
feeling and shit, you know?
Like, who do you follow when you're the one? Okay, everyone says what you're doing is the sickest. Like, you make the best songs. Okay, but 5 months down the line, like, okay, like, are you gonna keep making that same song, or like,
No,
you're waiting for the next little guy to kind of pop up, take his sound, and run with it? Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just be me. Like, I have to live it too, you know? Like,
Yeah.
how do I walk down the street saying, "Yo, I'm in a Lamborghini"? Like, yeah, every once in a while I'll throw in a bar and like kind of be like extra about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like, you're gonna catch me driving my car. Like, you're gonna catch me somewhere. I'm in the city. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be stupid. I don't want you to laugh at me like, oh yeah, like I
Yeah.
don't want you to watch me on a video and then see me across the street. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and actually, you know what? That's actually I respect that. I like that because it's more true, I guess.
Like,
you
I
know?
like
Yeah.
I like
But-
to be a performance artist. Like, I
Yeah.
like to, like I rented a car for my last one, but like
Yeah.
no one believes like I'm literally in that. But
Living
like
that lifestyle.
yeah,
That's the thing too.
That's the plan. But
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I
It's
always
like
kind
thoughts
of.
into motion, right? Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
It's like even fucking KRS-One has talked about this. Like back in the day, they didn't have any of the shit they were fucking rapping about. They were just like rapping about it, and eventually, like, they
Yo,
manifested that.
for me, it was like Shine. I don't know what song it was. But he's like,
Shine, nice.
he's like, I don't do it because I rap about it. I rap about it because I do it. And after
Nice.
hearing that, it's just like, yo, everything I'm rapping about is wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do what he's saying. Like, I have to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
'Cause then I'm a phony. Like, when I hear myself, like, fuck it, what everyone else is doing is not my business. But like me personally, when I hear my shit, it's like, yo, you're being a phony. Like, I get what you said. It sounds sick. But like, you have to live with that statement. Like,
Yeah.
Whether you take it seriously or anyone in the room takes it seriously, like, someone's gonna take that seriously and test you about it.
Yeah.
Like, are you willing? Like, that's how I do my music. So when I hear someone else and they aren't about that, I wonder, like, when you're in those situations, like, what would you do? Like, I don't wish it on anyone, but it's like, what would you really do? You know, like,
Yeah.
I know when people have tested me about it, and like I had to deal with that, but like,
Well, even look at like Slim Jesus. Slim Jesus
Yeah,
came out
that's
with
what I was
that
thinking.
fucking crazy drill song. What
yeah.
the fuck was it? Oh shit. Anyway, what the fuck was it? Anyways, he came out with that hard.
Yeah.
You know Slim Jesus?
yeah.
Okay, so
I
he
think
came
now
out
he
with
just
that.
like slangs crack or something. Like,
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Like, I saw him like in the news. I thought like, oh, he did another song, but it was just like really run down. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
no way.
yeah.
So he came out and he had that real fucking hard drill song, and like they had guns in the videos and shit. And I remember
It was hard,
It
yeah, it
said
was-
in the video, it said like these are all fucking
Drill
props
time.
and shit. Is it drill time?
Drill time,
Yeah.
probably,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Just like the fuck. But point is fucking. He came out shortly after that because everyone's like, "Oh, he's a gangster, he's a gangster, he's a gangster, he's a gangster." He came out shortly after that. I was like, "Whoa, like, I don't do that stuff." He's like,
Yeah.
"I'm just like normal white dude, like whatever, right?" He's like, "I'm not about that." And like there was many fucking like OG rappers that spoke on this, and like they said, like, he's gonna get fucking killed.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
like, you don't fucking say you're about that life and then tell everyone you're not about that life or whatever, right? He's like, you're gonna get fucking killed, man. And like, I think it was 50 who, like, one of them that I saw, but there was a few different people speaking on it that I saw, and they were like, man, like, you know, just like do that. So point is like, even then, like, yeah, you talk that life, and then someone's gonna check you somewhere, and it's like, I don't have the gun that was a prop in the video,
That's
or
what
I'm not
saying.
that fucking, you know, like, yeah, exactly. It's there's repercussions to it. And the thing is like, so like I like make a couple songs here and there, but I was like, when I first would write, I was like, guns and fucking like crazy
Because
cars
you're
and
just
all this
mimicking
shit.
what you hear.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, hey, wait, no. I'm like, but again, I don't want to get checked on that. Like, hey, you're driving a fucking 98 Honda Civic or like
Mhm.
whatever, right? And so I'm like, yo, like, okay. And then the thing is, I know that's part of rap, but I don't want to be caught up in that because I'm not really
You can
a
just
faker.
rephrase
You know what
it,
I mean?
you
Like,
know?
I'm not like
You can say your mind is a machine gun, not that you're holding a machine gun. You know, like,
exactly. And then like, and so yeah, I never wanted. So I'm like, okay, well. And so, like you said, I do throw out the odd bar and shit like that here and there about like certain things, but it's because it's like
it's well suited. Like, you understand in the song, like, oh, it makes sense. Like,
Exactly,
That's the
yeah.
theme of the song. Like, he's pretending he's Future Chunk. So like, yeah, he's talking about a machete, you know, because that's what he does. He walks around with a sword.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if, like, where's the machete on me? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and yeah. So you throw in like little ones and shit, but yeah, I'm just not. I'm like whenever I go to write shit, it's not. I don't want to fill it with garbage and shit, or not garbage, but
Yeah,
lies.
it's fillers. Like,
And,
to
like,
me, it's filler.
Exactly, yeah. And I think exactly, yeah. And I think in a video, like, I would aim to like have all of that, like all the rap video criteria of like bitches and cars and mansions.
I
and,
mean,
like,
it feels
booze and
nice.
shit.
Like,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
feels
Like,
nice, don't get
I
me
would do
wrong.
it, but like I would do it knowing that, like, I would hope that everyone's like, that's the music video that he like paid to like do. You know what I mean? Not that
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
entertainment,
It's
it
just
has
like,
to-
yeah,
you has to.
exactly. Yes, exactly. This is part of the show, guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I just feel like a performance artist because I'm just like creating as I go. Like, I'm just winging it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And that's what it is, man. Fucking, there's
It's a
no
creative process.
there's real no what do you call it? Like,
but
Direction or,
everything in
like,
life always says like you have to have a plan. Like, you have to plan B. Like, everything, and it's just like every time I have a plan, it doesn't work and get anxious
you
about
gotta
it.
have your business plan and
Let me
shit.
just do it. Yeah, of course, have your business correct, but
But then, like, yeah, other than that, man.
but even how you do business, like, there's no plan to how you do business. You know what I mean? There's steps. Okay,
No.
you want to do this, but like
Yeah.
how you
I'd
handle
say more or less
those-
like
you don't
a
get a
plan-
manual for all this shit to
Yeah.
like, how
Yeah.
do I do this? Go to chapter 12. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
when-
it's just setting goals and achieving each goal. That's what gets you there realistically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I have a real bad habit of like, excuse me. So like, say, actually, this is a perfect example. Say, me and Bisho earlier were talking about how I went to my buddy's house in Toronto, and he's like, yeah, come down, we'll like barbecue some shit and get all this meat and shit, right? So I got there like fucking 3 or 4 in the morning or some shit. So we smoked some weed, went to bed. So next day he's like, let's go get some meat and shit, right? And he's like, oh yeah, and I have to go and pick up a barbecue. So I'm like, yeah, cool, right on. Like, pick up the barbecue and like go home and cook some shit. But then, like, we get a box of, like, barbecue parts. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, no, we got to, like, put it together. I'm like, I never thought of that. So we got to put it together. So either way, that was like pointless to the conversation, except for picture yourself having to build a barbecue, right? So you have the fucking all the parts laying in front of you, and then you have a picture of what the barbecue looks like. To me, that feeling is like, oh fuck, there's like a whole bunch of shit here to do, right? So like I say that to say this, like with the goals, it's like, oh shit, for me to reach that thing, I'm like, I have to do all these goals or whatever, right? But if you just focus on one thing, it's like the first step of this barbecue
really
thing is to put this piece on, and then the next step is to do this thing. It's not build a fucking barbecue. Yeah. It's do this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. So whenever I actually break it down and do like little goals, I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. That was so easy because now simple, I've accomplished this whole big thing or whatever. Right. So point is I have a bad habit of like looking at shit being like, oh, there's so much here. But if you just do the little steps, you're there. Like,
honestly, I've been finding doing little lists like throughout the day, like helps me accomplish so much. Right?
Dude, I had a list on a physical list. So I had one in here. And I was checking this shit off, right? I found a booklet that I had, and I opened it up, and in the it was just like notepad, and one of the fucking pages had a list on it. And I guess I had made the list and then just like lost the book. And I went on the list and went, I think there's 4 things. Checked them all off. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I've done those things.
Yes.
I'm like, shit. And it's because, like, in my mind, it's because I made it a thing. I, like, made it a physical list. I didn't actually keep it and go, I'm doing these things, but they happened, you know? Like,
yeah. It's funny what you can manifest when you're not even paying attention.
Exactly.
When you're just working.
Have you ever seen the movie The Secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just brought it to show him because he hadn't seen it. I've been talking about it for years, man. I have it somewhere. I'll show you, whatever. But same thing, man.
Actually has it. Mm-hmm. Actually has it this time.
It's in the truck. But
even in a lot of it, you have to be careful in the phrasing and like what you're really asking for.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's better to be very specific.
Well, and like so,
kind of broad.
When you bring a negative vibe to it, when you go, I want this money to pay off my car, or like I want this money to like get me out of debt or whatever, right? Because now you've tainted it with negative with the debt,
right?
Or the like, I now it's not a want, it's a need now, or whatever, right? So I actually learned this thing. I did this myself, man. So
this guy's a guru.
Yeah, seriously. Okay,
right,
I've actually secreted a whole bunch of shit. There's a fucking list of shit.
It.
Yeah, that's
it's like some cheat code.
But I fucking I used to go to a buddy's house and fucking play poker every Friday night. There's a bunch of us that get together and shit. We play a tournament, and like I'm not like bad at poker, but I'm also not like awesome at poker, especially tournaments. So we'd go there and play, and it was mostly so we'd pre-drink before the bar or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Go and play and shit, whatever. And then I started doing, like, all during the week during work, I'd be like, okay, I don't want to think about, like, oh, I want to win for the bragging rights, or I want to win because then I have the money. I want to think about the last moment when that last card comes over and I realize that I won, and I'd feel that, like, gut feeling in my stomach. So I'd be, like, fucking making cement, like whatever, and I'd be thinking of that feeling of like, oh shit, like I won, and nothing about the money, just oh shit, I won that game, man. For like fucking 4 or 5 weeks in a row, I won, and I swear to God, it was because of that. Because I was like, it wasn't that I want the money or I fucking like need to brag about it or like whatever. It was like I just want that feeling of.
So that's
because
it was the challenge, you know. You did something like you successfully accomplished something, you know.
You manifested like positive, like so, like when you're saying I want something, like according to The Secret, anyways.
I have a good
right. So when you're saying you want something, you're always manifesting the feeling of wanting, and wanting is not having.
Exactly.
Right? So if you like you were like manifesting the feeling of winning, so it's like that having.
Yeah.
That's what, like,
see, well, but here's the thing: is what I was actually gonna say. I thought you were going this way with it, is like want over need, and this is so. I actually was in a situation where fucking like I had like court in a couple weeks for like my sentencing, and like I was like probably going to jail, and so I like needed a job, because if I have a job, they'll give you weekends, right? So I'm like, okay. So I'd be like, oh, fuck, like, anytime I had to think to myself, I'm like, man, I need a job. Like, I need to find something, whatever, right? Fucking literally, man, I changed it. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't need a job. I'm like, I don't need this to like get me out of this situation. Like I want a job to get me out of this situation and to like help me like better this situation, you know? So I'm like, yeah, I want this, you know? And literally, man, I don't know if I want to say it was that night, but at some point in like, it was the night before I had to go to court. My fucking my brother's buddy called the house. I'm like, oh, it's for you. And I gave my brother the phone. He answered it. He's like, oh, no, it's for you. And I get on the phone with him and he's like, do you want a job? I'm like, yeah, doing what? He's like, fucking fence post. He's like, do you want a job? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you start tomorrow. I'm like, I have court tomorrow. He's like, you start Thursday then. I'm like, okay, cool. So then I fucking went into fucking court and was like, yeah, like, I have a job.
Yeah.
So I ended up fucking getting weekends or whatever. But it was,
That's
in my
sick.
mind, I was like, man, it's because I changed it to wanting that for this positive thing rather than like, I need this to get me out of this situation.
Yeah.
I want this to like get me out of this situation. but it was like, you know, I changed it to more of a
If you wanted to
positive.
better
Like,
yourself, well, not that what you did, well, you know what I mean.
yeah, exactly. That's just it. Yeah,
If
like I
you're,
changed
like-
it to that feeling
yeah.
of like, yeah, I want to like move on from
Move
this,
on
you know?
and,
like, yeah.
and just improve from it.
And it
as opposed
fucking-
to like, I just want to get out of this and fucking right, it'll happen again
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Like,
And I mean, like, there's like, obviously, there's like, you know, he probably knew that I was in this situation and like, whatever, maybe like, fucking like, pulled some strings to like get this situation to happen, you know, like, so there's like, you know, it didn't just fucking happen. I imagine there was like reason behind it, but you know what I mean, though.
It was just the
like-
timing of it.
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I
yeah.
don't believe in coincidences. Like, nah, fuck that. Like, I see what you did, but I'm not gonna say nothing. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
I get the coincidence.
Well, see, and like, so was it you who said this? Some people say that like there is no such thing as coincidence,
yeah.
or
I
something.
Sometimes it's too obvious. To me, it's like
Um,
so obvious.
And
It's
that's
like,
the thing is, I won't say there's no such thing as coincidence, because sometimes it's like, okay, like maybe,
yeah.
but like even today I was saying to B-Show earlier, man, I was sitting there, I heard this song, and it put me on this fucking thought, and I just started thinking about shit, and I thought about a buddy I haven't seen for a while, like I should text him and see what's up and shit, and then like the next song started playing, right, and it was just random songs on my Spotify. So now the next song's playing, and I'm thinking of Buddy, and I'm like, no. And I stopped what I was doing. I'm like, I need to text him right now. Pulled out my phone. The fucking performer, or like the artist, was my buddy's name.
no way.
I was just like, what the fuck, man? So I just went home and texted him, like, dude, I'm like, how's it going, whatever. And then once we cleared up the like, hey, like, how you been? And like, what's up? I'm like, I told him the story. I'm like, that's fucked up, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
so I had to text you, man. But like that, I'm like, I don't think that was a coincidence, because the reason why I was thinking about him is because I was thinking about how like good he treated me in a certain situation. And like I was thinking like, man, I haven't seen him in a while, and like I feel bad I don't even like text him or anything, you know. So like, fuck yeah. And then I see that and I'm like, that's like someone being like, text this guy, like, hey, like,
Yeah.
and his
But-
name's Damien, so it's not like a normal name.
It's also energy too, right? When you meet someone, like you have a link to that person, no matter if you're far away. You know what I mean? It's someone
Yeah.
you're thinking about someone, so it's like it's easy. It's not a coincidence. Like it's just energy. You know, it's just
Yeah.
science. Like,
Exactly.
I'm sure
yeah.
there's some molecule that sends a signal to that
Well,
person.
and that's what they
or
say
some
in The
shit, you know?
Secret is like when you think about something, or even like when you say it out loud, you're putting that out. Even if there's no one sitting around you, you're putting it out into the universe,
energy's out
and
there.
that goes somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You just
the
can't see
energy's
with your
there.
eyes,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So like, yeah, even if no one heard it, the universe heard that, and like now it may take off that way or whatever, right? So
I'm-
people say like, careful what you say, or careful what
Yeah.
you wish for. So.
Yeah.
Our minds are just too small to see what the world actually is. You know, it's just like it
Well,
understands what it can.
It's true, because it's
Right.
and that's the biggest thing is I feel like I literally feel like we can like float and shit and like read each other's minds and do all this fucked up shit, because we only use a small percentage of our brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 10%.
But I think, and this,
Wow.
I mean, they say this in movies and shit.
Seems like a low amount.
And I know they say this in movies and shit and whatever. So I'm just like picking up someone else's like theory, but like what if we can't do those things just because we don't believe it, or we're like, wow, like we can't like.
See, I've heard that
Fly.
too.
It's like
You
the
know,
it's like the
like-
Matrix, man. Does the fucking spoon bend? You know what I mean?
I've seen
like
they only say like
yeah.
you can only use like half of your brain. Like you only use half of it, but then they also say like the left side of your brain is this part of your personality, and then the right side of your brain is for like a different trait of you, like your
Yeah, like
habits
one
or
of them's
something.
like
So it's like
artistic and one
so
of
I
them's
don't
logical.
all of your
I
brain all
don't
the
use my
time,
brain, or
like-
like it's we
You
use
do,
the whole
that's a fact.
thing.
Like, but it's just you like 100% of your brain is working. It's just what percentages of things work at different times, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
okay,
like in
okay.
the moment, maybe like right now. as we
Medulla
speak, right? Like
oblongata.
what we're using to just have this conversation, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this: whose brain is talking right now? How do you know when your brain is talking to you? Like,
Well,
I'm
it's just-
speaking, but my head is speaking, and I have another voice in my head that speaks. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Yeah,
can hear you
yeah.
talking right now.
So, okay,
And this
but-
microphone can hear you talking.
but in your
Yeah.
head, though, in your voice, though, like, what do you hear? Like, if you were to think something, whose voice is that?
That's my voice.
It's
Your
my voice.
internal
But
voice.
you know what though? I will say though, I like
You know what I mean?
I will put
Yeah.
other
You
people's
hear a voice
voices in
in
my
your
head
head.
though.
Of course you do, yeah.
Without
that's
you
your
actually
voice.
vocalizing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I can shut my mouth really tight and still have another voice that can
Yeah.
say something.
That's
that your
inner
brain?
monologue. That's
Yeah.
what that's called.
I think my brain is like literally like just like a little bit like either a little slow or like a little fast
Yeah.
because like even like whenever I am talking, I can still like figure something else out in my head.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
so
Like,
who's
it's
doing
like-
that, you know?
But like
Yeah.
yeah, true. Yeah.
is
yeah.
this your body talking or is your brain talking? I'm not even talking about souls or spirits. Like,
yeah.
that
Well,
could be
'cause
another voice too, you know?
maybe what I'm saying has already been like programmed in. So like I'm saying it, but then like my mind gets a
Like a
second to be
That's
like,
another thing in
Right, 'cause your
manifesting
brain has
too.
to think of it first before the words can even come out of your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah,
It's all
true.
signals.
That's another thing in
It'd be like
manifesting too.
microseconds.
You should never manifest something. You have to make something and create it. Everything you need, you already have it. You just don't see it yet. You haven't attracted it yet.
Right.
It's yours.
Man, I've literally
That's how
tried
you have
to
to
move
believe
shit,
it, you know
man.
what I
I've
mean?
literally
You know what I
tried to
mean?
move shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what astral projection is?
Yeah.
I've done it, man.
You've done it?
Swear.
Don't lie to me, bro.
I swear, and I might have told this story before, but well, remember how I was just saying that I had to go do weekends or whatever? Man, I hadn't seen this girl in like about like 6 or 7 months or whatever, right? But like didn't even talk to her, nothing. I fucking go in for the weekend, and I would go in on Saturdays. So I'd go in, and fucking, I would have to like sometimes like meditate to like go to sleep. I would go in, like I would smoke a blunt on the way and shit, right? But I would have to like meditate to go to sleep, kind of. So I was like, fuck it. My dad was reading all these books about this shit and whatever. So I was like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm gonna try this. So like, I would like pretend I was going to like visit my son and shit like that, and like hang out with him and shit. So I would like pretend I was flying over the city and out the highway, and like I pictured it all in my head, right? So I was like, but like, am I doing that? You know, like, is it happening, or am I just thinking of it, right?
Mhm.
Because even too, it would like take my mind away enough that I would just like wake
Felt
up
like
the
you
next
weren't
day,
there,
right?
yeah.
And I would just wake up and be like, oh, it's the next day. Oh, I just meditated myself to sleep. But then one day I was like, I'm gonna go see this chick. So I like go home and I go to her house and shit, and fucking, well, this sounds fucked up, but in my mind, I'm like at her house and shit, and like I'm walking around her house, and she's like walking around the house doing stuff, right? And so I'm like, oh, look, she's like walking around me and shit, and like whatever. And like I said, hadn't talked to this girl in a while, not even like talked to her. Fucking, whenever I got out on Monday, I had one of those phones where whenever you turn it on, it would show you when the message came in. So I turned on the phone. I had a message Sunday morning that was like, hey, like, how have you been, or whatever, right? And then like when there was no response, she was like, something weird happened last night, like whatever, like someone was in my house, or like something was going on, whatever, blah blah blah. She's like, but I've been thinking about you lately, whatever. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So then she had messaged me again that night, and again, like I didn't get to see them till Monday morning,
Right.
and then she had messaged me at like 6:30 Monday morning as well to be like, hey, what's up? But she didn't know that I was like at sleepaway camp.
Yeah.
And so my point is, she didn't know that I was going to be up and getting out at 6:30 in the morning, but she randomly texted me again at 6:30 in the morning Monday morning about like just, I don't think it was just like, hey, what's up or whatever, right? But my point is I'm like, oh my god,
You made
I'm
that
like,
happen.
I fucking went to this girl's house. She literally not only like felt someone in the house, but was thinking of me or like whatever. I'm like, that is not a fucking coincidence in my mind, man.
I
Like,
believe that.
it is not a coincidence in my mind.
could-
I didn't tell her though. I didn't tell her that because I didn't want to make her feel special. But at the
Now
same
she
time,
knows.
Isn't that a Patrick Swayze movie? He just
Is it a ghost? yeah.
Like, I think the CIA like legit did studies on astral projection and shit like that. Like they, even have you heard of like the Amazing Randy?
I don't know.
Can't say I have no.
Okay, he's like this. I'm not sure if he's still alive, but he's like this old dude that would like debunk all these people that said they could astral project and like.
Oh yeah.
Or any like.
I have another story that's not coincident. I'm not gonna tell it, but
like,
it's.
you know, people saying they could move things with their minds and stuff like that. He would always set up these like tests to see if they could actually do what they claim.
Oh yeah.
And said if anyone could actually prove it under like scientifically measurable,
Yeah.
in a setting like that, then they would get $1 million, and no one's ever gotten it, right? So
What?
yeah, no, because it's not like.
Call them up.
Yeah.
I can't prove it, I guess.
They just
But
set
like,
you up
how
to
can you
fail?
prove that? How the fuck can you prove
Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the Amazing Randy, like he's sort of like, you know,
Wait.
people that said they can move things with their minds or like talk to ghosts or like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about astral projection
The,
too.
the astral projection thing, yeah, the CIA
probably
actually did studies on that, and I don't think they. Well, I mean, it's the CIA. If they came across anything, they're not going to say it, right?
Man,
Like,
Yeah.
there was a guy, and at the same time too, I just realized I was about to say this story, and like it could just be a fucking lie. But some guy, fucking, this is my dad told me about this because it was in one of the books he's reading. Some guy, fucking fell asleep at his house, and he had a dream that he like flew out of his house, and like he had a big property, and he flies to the back of the property where he like didn't really go for a while or whatever, and there was a tree and there was a book under the tree, and he like went down and he like zoomed in and like he looked at the name of the book and the name of the author and everything, excuse me, and then I don't know when this part of the story happened. It could have been like literally some lady came to the door, and I don't know if like that woke him up or if it was like later that afternoon or like whatever, but at some point after he had this like dream, she came to the house and she's like, hey, she's like, I'm your neighbor, I live like on the back part of your property or whatever. She's like, I lost a book, is it okay if I like go look for it or whatever, right? And he's like, is it fucking this book and like whatever? And she's like, yeah, like how'd you know? He's like, I know exactly where it is. And he like took her to it and like found it or whatever. So again, like it could be like folklore or like some story, but at the same time, like if that story was true, then like that could like kind of prove it, but you'd have to do it and be
You have to be
like,
able to
hey,
repeat it,
yeah,
right?
come read this book, I'm at fucking Jonesy's house or whatever,
and
right?
that's
Like,
what
yeah.
like when the CIA, like because they said if you like you could go into some Russian agent's, you know, secret place and just astral project yourself there and see what everyone's doing like in real time.
Yeah,
Right,
there was a movie
That'd
about
be
this.
crazy, right? But like, I don't think it's actually a thing.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think that was a coincidence. At the same time, I don't really think I've been able to do it again.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it works, but I don't know. I think it worked that time, I
It could
guess.
just be like a heavy meditated state or
But
something.
I also
too,
do
right?
this thing, man. I mean, I don't do this on purpose, but like, so I heard that, like, if you wake up and you like can't move and shit, it's because your soul is out of your body. And this is like some,
It's like
what's her
sleep
name?
paralysis.
Sylvia Brown shit. So she apparently said this. Someone was like regurgitating this to me like a long time ago, right? And apparently she said that when you dream, your soul leaves your body, and that's what your dreams are, is your soul leaving your body. And so when you wake up and you can't move, but you can like look around and shit, it's because your soul hasn't gone, like your soul's gone or whatever, right? It's out doing its dream thing.
Right.
And so then,
So you think what happens in your dream is real in some way, in some
yeah,
universe?
I honestly think so, because man, I have so many dreams about like, well, I guess it's because I've seen it before, but I have dreams about like shit around my house, like not just in my house, but like in proximity as to like where I live, you know what I mean? Like
That makes
just shit
perfect sense.
Do
around.
you know the
right?
time you
And
have
it
dreams
seems
mean
really
something
common.
differently?
What's that?
The times that you have these dreams mean different things.
I've actually looked up my dreams. I had a dream, man. I was just telling my dad this the other day. I'm getting way off topic, but I had a dream not the other day, sorry. I was in like grade 2 or some shit. I had a dream. I went to the washroom out of school, like out of class, go to the washroom, I come back, and I open up the door, and this fucking kid was standing at the chalkboard writing. And like, that was like part of the dream or whatever, but I remember being like, what the fuck? Like, that was weird, you know? Like, it was just so specific and weird.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know when it was. It could have been the next day. It could have been 10 years later or
Yeah.
whatever. But no, it wouldn't have been. It would have been the same year. Anyway, so I fucking go to the washroom from that same classroom. Go to the washroom and I come back and I get to the door. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, man, I'm having deja vu like that dream, you know? I'm like, shit, that's fucked up. I'm like, but if that dude is at the fucking chalkboard, I'm like, then like
Game
it's
over,
over. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I opened the door and I was just like, oh, what the fuck? Buddy was standing at the chalkboard writing, the teacher. Everything was just like the exact same. I was like, what the fuck, man? I didn't know what to do, man.
Crazy.
So like, I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, I think that maybe it's true because like I've had again. Earlier you were talking about manifesting things, and I was gonna say sometimes I feel like you can only get cancer if you know what cancer is, or like if you like
If you acknowledge it.
yeah, if you
don't
acknowledge it, like yeah.
I don't think
And
it works like
I
that.
know, and I'm not saying that's like how I think.
I think
but
you
like,
know. I
that's
think when you put toxic thing in, like when you get like a certain, I don't know. I just want to have a certain awareness. Like when I put something in my body, I just feel it. Like especially when you, like I
Yeah,
haven't had
true.
any like nicotine or anything. When you put it back, like you feel like the rush, but afterwards you feel it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I guess I get like yeah.
just like negative things in your body that you just manifest. It just carries weight and just sits and rots. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
just like
true.
let it go. I don't know.
But like after that, man, I had this fucking dream. Oh, it wasn't even a dream, man. I fucking woke up in the middle of the night. This is probably like within a month of this girl telling me about this shit. And I fucking I missed a part. So the other thing is when you wake up and you can't move, but you're like shaking and shit like that.
Yeah.
They say that it's because you woke up right when your soul was like about to be in your body. So not long after this, man, I wake up in the middle of the night. It's dark, pitch black, fucking whatever. I wake up and I'm like shaking and shit, and I can't move. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm like, am I having a seizure or something? Or like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck? And I fucking blinked, man, and I woke up and it was daylight and everything was like normal. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm like,
crazy.
dude, I'm like, it happened. But then not again until like fucking years and years and years later. But like, man, in the last fucking like 5-6 years, I've had shit happen, man. Like literally in the last couple months, maybe, or like whatever. I fucking one time, man, I wake up, but I'm not awake, and I'll like yell to get someone to wake me up. But in my mind, I'm like, be show. But whenever I hear it, I'm like,
Yeah,
and I'm
can't
just and I
talk.
can't move and shit. Sometimes I've woken up, my arms would be here, but I feel like my arms are here. Like I just lifted my arms up off my lap, but they're on my fucking lap.
Yeah.
So the shit like that happened, or I wake up, man, and I'm leaning off the edge of my bed, being like, "Ugh," like yelling to try and wake people up and shit. But if you know how like ghosts in movies, they'll be like, oh, and they can't pick it up, but then if they focus, they can pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll like focus on my energy and be like, Bisho.
Yeah.
And it
you're
sounds right.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not awake, but I'm awake. Like I can't wake myself up. And then, like I said, I've had times where my arms aren't moving and shit.
You should.
But
Have you ever felt like try to put a camera on you while you sleep?
I should though, yeah.
Legit, man.
I
And,
should.
It sounds
then,
like Street Fighter. It's like you're trying to like Hadouken with your mind and like you're
Seriously, man, yeah, I'd like
in your
fucking
sleep, you're
like
just
build my
like-
energy so that I
Yeah.
could yell to get someone to wake me up. Man, whenever my brother, I woke him
You'll
up
probably find that you just
from
talk
the
a
other
lot when you
room
sleep.
so that he could fucking wake me up. And what happened was, man, I fucking woke up and I was like, I used to get this feeling, well, probably everyone does whenever they're a kid and shit. It's just like, oh shit, like something's creepy. And then you like lay there or you get under the blankets or something, you know? I woke up in the middle of the night and just felt that. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, it was like almost in tears because I was just like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? Something's going on. Man, I start to feel this on my chest hair and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, what the fuck? I have my eyes closed. I'm like, don't open your eyes, don't open your eyes. I don't want to see that shit. So I'm like, don't open your eyes, don't open your eyes. I'm like, okay, just see, because I'm like, maybe there's a bug or something, right? So I bring my hand up like this, and I'm like, I have my eyes closed, right? And I'm like feeling, I'm like, no, there's nothing here. I didn't feel any ghost hands or anything. Like everything's cool.
But you wouldn't.
So then, no, yeah, I guess. But then I open my eyes. My hands are at my side. But I'm touching my chest. But my hands are at my side. So I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck. So I'm like, oh, and I'm trying to yell for my brother, which is like, making noises. So finally I build up the energy, the fucking, come here, man, fucking, but yeah, so I'm like, Tyler, and fucking, I just heard like, hey. And so I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I woke up because I was like now into like, what's that sound? Like, what's going on? And then I woke up, it was just like, thanks, man. And we both went back to bed. But like, fucked up, man. I had it before with like chicks. I'd be like laying in bed and they're talking and I hear them. But I'm like, oh my God, I can't move. The fuck's going on? Holy fuck. And I'd be like, like trying to talk to them. And like the one chick turned around and looked at me and was like, the fuck's wrong with you? What are you doing? It's not funny. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, it's not fun. I don't want it to be funny. Like, what the fuck? I got the energy, like I built it up and I swung my arm over. And when my arm hit her, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't like hit her. Sorry, no, yeah.
Consensual.
Like it like landed on her like
Yeah.
like leg or whatever. But like whenever it like touched her, I'm like, whoa! And I woke up, and she's like, "What are you doing? It's not funny and shit." And I wake up like, "No, oh my god!" I'm like, fucking started crying. I'm like, "What the fuck? I have no clue what the fuck just happened." Like, holy shit. Anyways, sorry. I just
We
feel
need
like
to
I
get some scientists like sleep.
I
fucking
do.
Scientists to
It's like sleep
hook you
paralysis
up
or
with one
whatever.
of those like machines.
I think, man, I think
Test
there's
your
more to
sleeping
it.
patterns.
I think there's more to it.
Your
I think I have an
REM
active
sleep.
soul or some
Crazy.
shit.
You have an active soul. Could be.
Yeah. I went and stayed at my cousin's house one night, and he's like, "Yeah, let yourself in." It was like late at night. He's like, "I'm gonna be in bed, so let yourself in." So I let myself in, fucking go to bed, and fucking I wake up and I have my arms off the side of the bed, and I'm yelling at the door like, "Whoa," just making noises and shit. And I wake up and I'm like, "Oh, that was weird." Just went back to bed. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, weird.
That's hilarious. You definitely should
I'm gonna. I think.
hook up
Yeah.
your like GoPro or something at nighttime.
Fuck. I need to see what's going on in my brain though. Put me in some kind of machine. Be like, okay, so this is where you were like yelling shit, and this is what's going on in your brain. Oh shit! Sorry, I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild tangent.
I feel like I
Yeah.
know you now, like a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I
That's
went
great.
something with. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, we all went
Yeah.
on adventurous styles there.
we're all just a little closer now.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's a
That's
never-ending,
great.
never-ending tales of Styles the
That's
Prophet.
it.
Will
That's
fucking
it.
bring us all together.
Hell yeah, man. I might fucking dabble.
I did it at 250.
Yeah, that one's almost out.
Oh fuck! Yeah, but no.
Yeah, but no.
I also have like crazy dreams. Like I remember like so many people would tell me.
Do you still like? I find like smoke weed, so like I find that I don't drink.
Yeah, I'm surprised you
And
still
I dream
at
every
all.
single
Yeah,
night.
I
and
know.
I smoke
Well,
a ton of dope.
Because when I find I
Yeah,
take
like,
breaks, I have
I
like
wish I
intense dreams
when I
like
stopped
that
smoking
night.
weed,
You know?
Yeah?
like,
Dreams
See,
a big
and that's
thing for me.
all, and that's another reason why at the start of the year I was gonna quit for 30 days, and that's another reason was I wanted to see if I would dream. Right, I do dream,
It'll be different though.
but like yeah, like so whenever I was a kid, man, like whenever I was like little, man, I used to have like very like vivid
Yeah.
dreams, like fucking like man, oh crazy, like
once you
crazy.
still remember, right? Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
stick with
Yeah,
you.
man,
Me,
yeah.
I have a
me
couple of
too,
those
man.
too. It's like, yo, why do I still remember this? All
Yeah.
the things I can remember, like
if
Not even
from
whenever
if
you're
weed is
though.
hindering me from
Yeah.
having dreams or having like crazy dreams or whatever, I would like to see what happens if I don't smoke weed. Because like I will say, like everyone dreams every night or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily remember them
Yeah.
or whatever, right? So like I don't really remember like having a dream every night, but I'll have like things where like I'll wake up and be like, I have no clue what I dreamt about, but I'm like, I feel weird for some reason. Like I feel like upset or like I feel like I'm missing something or
Right.
like there's I'm like, oh, like that made me feel this way, but I don't even know what it was, or like I'll have dreams that I do remember the dream, but it's like so basic that but later I have like a feeling from it, like I'm like, oh, I feel like oh whatever, but it's like you're just like hanging out smoking weed with a bunch of dudes like or
Yeah.
whatever, like some simple, you're just driving down the road, but I'll wake up and be like, oh, that like made me feel some type of way or something.
Totally.
You're just an emotional dude style.
It's true, yeah.
imagine all the
Emotionally
dreams you just don't
connected.
remember. Like
Oh.
it'd be like great ideas or just. That's why you wake up in a good mood. It was just, you had an amazing dream, and you have no idea. That's why you woke up like just pumped for the day. Like you dreamt
Right.
the whole day ahead of you.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
aced the day. You know what I mean? Like everything you possibly could have did that day, you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just all
Yeah.
worked out perfectly.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Fuck.
And you woke up like I'm ready, and you're like, fuck, what?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Look at it. Fucking yeah. I should probably try to quit smoking some weed and then
Just take a break, man.
and then see if I
24
dream.
hours.
24
That's all you
hours.
need.
Yeah. You think I dream
To
good
start.
after
The
that?
dream will
No,
get you, but you don't wake up like fuck. It's
Yeah. Oh man. I could. Man. I
gonna
could go
change
on
your
for days,
life, man. It's gonna make that first smoke scary for you, I bet.
The-
I don't want to go back.
Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah.
actually, and that's another thing is I was like, yeah, maybe if I like go off for a bit, I'll like get super stoned or whatever. I'd go off it for a bit. It sounds like an addict, but yeah, I was like, maybe I'll get like super stoned or some shit, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, you would.
And then after the 30 days, just like fucking do a bunch of dabs and
Yeah,
fucking smoke a bunch
man.
of joints and shit.
It's just weird how your tolerance goes, like with paranoia and shit. You have to give it back to you getting used to it. I hate that.
Yeah.
It's always that rough stage.
Fuck, man. My one buddy, he's like, I'll like be at his house. I'll be chilling out. I'll leave. I'll go over the next day. I'll be like, man, where's the torch? Like, where's this? Where's that? He's like, oh, I hit it last night. Like, what the fuck? But like, we're using the torch to do dabs and shit, right? Or like, yeah, like parchment paper. I bought like a thing of parchment paper and like some fucking electrical tape.
Yeah.
And so I go back the next day and I'm like, yo, where's the, like, it was in this drawer. I'm like, where's the parchment paper and the electrical tape? He's like, oh shit, is it not in the drawer? I'm like, no. He's like, fuck, I might have hit it. I'm like, parchment paper and electrical tape? He's like, well, man, he's like, the way my mind works is that we use it to make shatter. So like, they know that. You know what I mean? He's like, I think that they know that or whatever, right? I'm like, yeah, whatever. But it's just because he's just smokes a bunch of weed and then he just gets all paranoid. He's like, oh,
How
shit.
do you not
man.
remember where he hit it?
Hiding everything. Man, the one time the torch was in the dryer, he
It's
looked.
just random ass place.
He looked everywhere. I watched him look everywhere in the kitchen. And then he went in the other room and looked. I don't know how well he looked. Then he came back in. He looked in the kitchen. He went upstairs and looked. Went back in the other room and looked. Came back in the kitchen and looked. Went upstairs and looked. Came back. He's like, I don't know what the fuck, man. I'm like, whatever. We don't have to do a dab. Like, fuck it, right? And then I'm like, I'm just throwing this out there, man. I'm like, but the only place I didn't see you check was the dryer. I'm like, just try it, man. He goes and opens the dryer. He's like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, I didn't know it was there, but I'm just like, you checked everywhere but the fucking dryer, so just look. He's like, I don't know why I put it in there, man. But paranoia, right?
Just if I was in that situation, be like,
It's just
put it in
crazy
the
what your
dryer,
mind
dude.
worries about, you know, like immediately within like a couple seconds. Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
your brain just goes off. It's just like, yo, that dog is looking at me. Like kid is running to go tell his mom. The fucking, you know, they're gonna give me a ticket. Like, fuck.
Yeah, like you say, you wake up the next day, like, what
And you're
the
just trying to
fuck?
light your joint. The wind's blowing. You're like, oh, this is running on it now. You know, like I hate those.
Oh, I hate that. man.
That was like the
Yeah.
first smoke of the day. You know, too. You know, like
The worst.
Especially if you can't control it. If it
Yeah.
just keeps running.
it's the wind for me. It's like when it's
Worst,
sunny out, with the
Oh,
wind's
yeah.
going.
Mark me down for one.
Oh, take one for me while you're up there.
So what have you guys been listening to? Like, what do you guys bump?
Oh man, actually, I've been listening to a bunch of weird shit lately. Like,
Weird in what way? Like,
not weird. So I shouldn't say weird. Just like a random like collection of shit. So like, here, let's see. So like normally, if you go through like the bottom fucking 90% of this list, it's like a lot of fucking rap, like mostly gangster rap type shit.
like classic or like modern?
Modern, yeah.
Moneybag Yo.
Like yeah, like where were we? Yeah. Meek Mill, Kodak Black, Fletcher G, Polo G and shit like that, little TJ and shit like that.
Yeah. You know what your car is?
You out here? Alright, man. Nice meeting you, man. Have a good one. So yeah, anyway, so now if I go here, I'm like, these are a few people I found today. Snot.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty sick.
Nancy McCallion on We Go Take an Irish Tune. Fucking this Kreiderman dude. He's from I found him on SoundCloud. He's like got a pretty good sound, but he's like not super big, but he should be.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke.
Of course.
Kim Dracula, Paparazzi. It's like a fucking like kind of metal like fucking thing. Chance the Rapper, CGM Capo. I don't know who he is, but I just heard the song somewhere and threw it on. Darren Miller, he's from CKY, so it's like fucking some of it's like metal. There's like Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys, fucking the Kitty Man. 24K Golden, the Baby, fucking shit like that. And then there's like Outkast and DJ Drama,
So you're pretty much over the place. Like
Rihanna, Amanda
What-
Seyfried from Ted 2.
What do you have from that?
Who, Rihanna?
Yeah.
Man Down.
Oh, classic.
Deuces remix with Chris Brown and fucking Outkast and Drake and a bunch of people. Good tune.
This guy gets down like that.
Ray Charles, Mess Around. Some People by Liza Minnelli. Some show tunes and shit, man. Meek Mill, Issues. But anyways, yeah, so it ranges like, so a lot of my bottom of my list is
I
like
like
a
it.
bunch of like newer
I
rap
like
and
seeing
shit
that.
like that.
Like some people, you just see like literally one genre, and it's just like I get it. But it's
Well,
just
yeah,
like-
well, and I listen to like some punk and shit, but yeah, I just mixed it up because I'm like, man, I'll hear a song on a movie. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty good, yeah. But then just like in my mind, I'm like, that song's gone forever.
dude, when I
yeah,
was a
please.
kid, I would like.
But so I
YouTube-
started. Well, now I started like googling the lyrics or like fucking.
I would YouTube a
Shazamming
fucking like
things.
soundtrack, you know, like from a movie. Like, yo, this part sounds sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I rap to this? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, I started fucking doing that. So like, man, the Liza Minnelli song, it's called "Some People," and it's like some people can get a thrill from knitting sweaters and sitting still and like, but like in the chorus she's like, but some people ain't Rose, and like, so she's talking how she likes to like go and party and like do shit.
Yeah.
And it's this old lady in this movie. She's like one of those old ladies that doesn't think she's old, and like she's rich and shit like that, so she's drinking her like bourbon and shit, and she gets in a fight with one of her like fucking like kids or whatever, and they like storm out, and she's like whatever, like pours some more booze and like drinks it, and she walks across the room and she hits the CD player and that song comes on, and I was like, that song, like I literally like the song just because it was so perfectly timed in this fucking scenario and this movie that was like downloading that song. So I just like, even too, I got like the Teddy Pendergrass Turn Off the Lights and shit. It's very like jazzy and like fucking, you know, you light the candles and fucking whatever, turn the lights down and shit like that.
It's a whole mood.
Yeah. So I got like
effort.
fucking all kind, like, so yeah, the top fucking 15-10% of that list is like just a range of shit. So, but yeah, point is all kinds of stuff. What do you listen to?
Yeah, same as like just like range. You know, I try to keep up like who's like current. You know, like
Yeah.
Moneybag, Key Glock. You know, but I like Trippie Redd. I like the Young Thugs too. You know, because they're
I like
alternative.
older Trippie Redd. I shouldn't say I don't like new shit. I just haven't really fucked with it a lot.
Yeah. Like I feel like he's doing better more like on features lately. Like if
Yeah,
I listen
yeah.
to a Trippie Redd song.
Oh man, I have MGK and Trippie Redd with
I like Trippie Redd's part
Candy
more
or some
than
shit, yeah.
more than MGK's. But I'm not mad at MGK trying that route though. Like for his music, like if he can get away with it and like he enjoys to do it, then why not?
I like.
Who says you're not allowed to try and fail?
Well,
like who cares?
And
So-
that's just it. It's like, so like part of me is like, man, so any artist, I don't really like when they change because I'm used to this thing, right? Like I just don't
course.
like change, I guess, right? So I'm like, I'm used to this thing. It's like Blink-182 was very like fast punk and shit, but then they like switched when they got the new drummer and they became more like pop punky type shit, and I was like, don't like it. But then I like grew to like it, right? Green Day fucking like they just changed and I hated it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so point is I don't like that shit. And so then whenever he changed, I'm like, no man, like, oh, it's not the time for this and shit. Like, oh, what are you doing? But then at the same time, I also argue the fact that people change, and like you were saying, like it's like what you're doing and shit like that, and like what you're feeling. So if what you're feeling and doing is changing,
'Cause he's
then
still
what you're
trippy. It's just like where
gonna-
he's at now. It's just not as appealing to you. I hate that too. It's just
Oh,
like-
sorry, I meant MGK. Sorry,
Oh, okay,
I thought
okay,
were you
okay.
talking about Trippy? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant MGK because MGK made a switch where he was like kind of pop
Yeah, I know.
punky.
Yeah, I
And,
know.
like,
He
so, yeah,
he used to be hard. Like he used to come
Yeah.
in like.
And so like point is I don't like it, but because for me I'm like, oh, I miss that old, like I probably won't listen to that. I miss the old shit. But like I said, I also understand that people change and shit. So I'm like, all right, they're changing. But yeah, and I will say too, like from what I have heard of like newer shit from Trippy is like he's like singing and shit more and like
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. Do you follow Einer Banks?
No.
He does like ukulele songs.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
So
before.
he does one with
Super
Trippy
sick.
Redd. He does two with Trippy Redd, and the one of them's actually pretty decent, but the other one is like really bad. It's like Trippy's singing, like he's not singing with the ukulele. He's just like singing, and then the ukulele is like playing its own fucking thing.
Okay.
So like the timing's all fucked up, and he's like, there's like a whole bunch of guys in the background, and the guy with the ukulele is like hunched in with a bunch of dudes, and fucking Trippy singing the song. But it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but in my mind, I'm like, it's like so.
That's like I Am
off-tune and
Thompson.
shit.
You know who I Am Thompson is
No.
on Instagram? It's just like a dude who always plays the violin, and he'll
Oh.
have like a girl like pretty much half naked, just like doing some shit, and like whatever like clout
Doing some
rapper
shit.
is like really like popping in like LA,
Yeah.
will be like singing their song as this happens.
Mm-hmm.
I Am Thompson on Instagram, bro. It's hilarious.
I Am
Same
Thompson.
Shit, yeah.
I'm gonna get it right away. I'm so bad for being like, yeah, man, I'll check that out. I'll remember that,
Yeah.
and then I just don't.
Thompson is like THM, like no vowels in it.
Okay.
So he's just a dude who says some shit and just immediately plays like a song with a violin.
Is it just I? Oh no, there it is. Found it. Gangster shit. He's got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
Now he's got 1,000,001.
Send me a check, Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Promoting your
Seriously,
shit.
yeah. No, that's crazy. I remember back in the day too. There was fucking. I don't think they like did it as a thing, but I remember there was this one video and it was a fucking. think it was an Asian dude, but he had a fucking violin, and it was I think it was like a Wu-Tang track or something, but he was like playing along with it and shit. Sounded so good.
I love when they do like really hard like trap, like rappers will be rapping and like behind them is just like an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
I love those remixes, like
Yeah.
those versions.
True that.
Like I have like old like Jay-Z remixes of like the Blueprint that like someone put like, I don't know, I think it was like Danger Mouse or something with it, or like one was like Coldplay, like Viva La Hova or something.
Oh yeah.
What?
The mix of that is like, yo, I'm gonna make a sound like this. That was like me, like I was like, wow, like I listen
Yeah.
to Jay-Z and I listen to Coldplay. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're
That's
putting like
crazy.
Oh, I really
like
like
Violent
fucking-
Hill with Jay-Z rapping like with I think it's like a takeover verse
Yeah.
over Violent Hill by Coldplay. That's
no way.
that's amazing to me.
You ever
Oh,
hear
they
the
did
fucking
The Linkin
Linkin
Park
Park,
matchups,
yeah.
man.
Like that
shit
to me
was
that's
fire.
cool, but like this other shit is like
yeah?
fire.
Well, it's also because I think too because excuse me. So Linkin Park has a bit of like kind of hip hop like metal sort of like
Yeah, 'cause
to
like
it.
Mike Shinoda's
They pushed that,
raps.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe like the reason why like maybe that seems like better or whatever is because it's that much further away from rap
Mhm.
Right.
that it's like the dynamic is there, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or
man.
it's like more of a dynamic or whatever.
Yeah.
If dynamic is the right word, I forget.
Yeah, because like Jay like redid all his parts. It wasn't like he just remixed it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
they
see
didn't
them-
just put it in.
they
were
Same
in the
with
studio,
Did
yeah.
they do that with Linkin Park too?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
actually like
Yeah.
went and did it.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
I made it authentic. You know?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they did what they did in the end, or no, not in the end.
Encore.
Encore. Yeah, Numb. They did Numb. They did 99 Problems, and then
Oh,
they
man.
did Points of Authority as well. I think.
Which means it doesn't age well because like where is it now? You know?
Yeah,
It's
you
true.
don't
It's
really
true.
listen to
That
it
and
now,
that's
but-
yeah.
Whereas that one with the Coldplay one, it's like it's still classic to
That
me. I don't
sticks.
know.
I'll
I'll never
Man, I
forget.
haven't even
I don't-
fucking
I don't
heard
think
it,
I've
man.
heard
I'll
it.
Do
check
it,
Yeah.
bro.
out.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah?
There's one.
Fuck,
Yeah.
And they had like, was it all like live with a big band and shit, or was it like, did they have like a album and shit too?
It was a full album. Like,
Yeah,
they
okay,
did
yeah,
the
the
same thing
type
with
of
I think it was the
Linkin
Black
Park, yeah.
Album mixed in with I think Black Album and maybe
I
I
American
think Black
Gangster.
Album was the only one I physically owned.
Really?
Yeah,
I think so for me too for J album.
yeah.
The rest was always just like downloaded online, like a
Yeah.
physical copy.
Well, that's just it, yeah, man. Like,
But I was a Pac fan, like a stupid, way after the fact. It's like, no, I'm not gonna listen to this because like whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
Such an idiot, like just a dumb kid.
Well, you know what's funny is I had like fucking all like burnt CDs and shit, and I was like
Oh, yeah,
downloading all this
same.
music. But like, if I had the money, and like was just going to like shop and shit, I would go to like fucking wherever and buy some clothes and shit. But then I would go to HMV and just like buy fucking albums and
Yeah.
shit. But like, I mean, I had a CD player in my car and shit, so sometimes I would play them, but most of them like literally have sat there and like I open them up and put them in a box. You know, like actually speaking of Tupac though, I have like a bunch of Tupac albums, but like at the same time too, I was kind of like, you know what, I feel bad ripping off all these people's music, so maybe let's put some money out there. But like I bought the fucking, I don't think I opened it for the longest time. It was the Tupac album that was like produced by Eminem.
Oh right.
It was-
Go to
was
the
like,
game one.
What's that?
Go to the game.
Yeah. But yeah, so I went and just bought a bunch of shit about fucking Machiavelli. About what the fuck was it called? It was like oh my god, I don't even know. It comes in like a fucking sleeve, and it
All
was
Eyes
like,
on Me.
no, it was all like
Greatest hits?
it was all crazy like gold and fucking like flaky. Like it looked all fucking like. I'll send you a picture of it if I think of it. I got it at home. It was either like some kind of greatest hits or something, or it was like some kind of like weird mixtape or something. But it wasn't like. The point is, I went out and put in some money and was like, yeah, fuck it. Like I'm like, I'll buy some shit. But that was one of them that I bought was like a bunch of Tupac shit because I'm like, man, like, you know, I'm like, whether I'm ever going to like listen to it, I'm like, I'd never paid for any of the other shit. So like,
Yeah.
sorry, bro. Whatever, right?
That was like one of the first CDs like I physically like, went to the store and bought.
And I thought too, like I could collect them, kind of, you know. Like I actually have a couple albums that are like, man, I have the Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bullocks, Here Come the Sex Pistols, in the fucking wrapper and shit. Because I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, I just bought history, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I bet you even put it online. They're like, I'll give you $6 or whatever, right? Like, there was like a Plus 44 album. It was like Blink-182 broke up and like made that shit. Fucking, I tried to keep it in the wrapper. My brother opened it. I was like, no. But like,
But if you think about like all your
Might
favorite
remember.
rappers don't even listen to rappers. He
That's
listens to
true.
That is
Like
true.
Biggie didn't listen to rappers. He listened to jazz. If you watch that new one on Netflix, it's like listen to jazz and like a reggae kind
Yeah.
of singer.
Well,
you know?
and
Made
that's
his
another
own.
reason why I try to listen to different shit is because, like, you know, I want to pick up different shit. Like, well, man, like, so I originally, whenever I was younger, I listened to more punk rock, but I also listened to a lot of rap as well. But it was just more like mainly punk rock, and like screamo and shit like that. Sometimes, I really like to play screamo. But anyway, short story long is fucking, I listened to like predominantly fucking punk and shit like that, bands and shit. But then I just fucking like switched and I started listening to more like hip hop. But I listened to fucking, I went like, I still listen to fucking like reggae and shit like that. But like I'll just listen to like whatever. Like I said, I have that fucking song Teddy Pendergrass. It's like jazz too, and I just
You
heard
just
it.
know the time
Some
and
dude,
place
I'm like,
for it. You know what I
it's
mean?
just like yeah, you know. And that's not like, not that I'm trying to force myself to like it. It's just that I don't listen to a bunch of shit. I just listen. I'm like, oh, just listen to the same song I downloaded the other day and
Yeah.
like this and this and this. So I'm like, wait, like there's other stuff out there, you know? And that's what pushed me a few years ago because I heard someone say that. Like rappers don't, they said, what do you listen to? And I forget who it was, but he's like, yeah, I listen to like
You just
whatever.
mimic it.
And then he goes, rappers don't listen to fucking rap, man. Like, and I was like, holy shit, that's fucked. I think it was Lil Uzi Vert because he was like Manson and shit like that. And I was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, then it put me on this thing. I'm like, well, they're getting their inspiration from other shit. They're not.
You could see the Prince influence in Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch like live
Oh yeah,
Prince
fuck.
concerts.
Yeah.
Look at Lil Uzi Vert now. He's just copying. He's just making his own.
Oh yeah, fuck.
It's
man.
sick though. He does it. Like it's amazing.
True, yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, that's funny. I've never thought about that comparison actually, but now you say it, it makes a lot of sense.
Like,
Mhm.
I'm not saying he's trying to be like Prince, but he definitely like gets
There's a lot of
influence.
inspiration. Yeah, a lot of
He's-
inspiration
yeah.
from that.
I mean,
yeah.
I do. Like, I didn't always listen to rap, you know? Like, my sister was way older than me. She was listening to, like, Nirvana and, like,
Nice,
R.
me
Peace,
too, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck man, I used to listen I
Trouble
used to,
Charger, Goblin. I know all those fucking bands.
Trouble
I don't
Charger,
listen. I
nice.
don't listen
Name
to
drop.
it
Yeah.
anymore. But I mean, when you're, like, just a little kid, like, my
Dude.
cousin was the one, like, yo, listen to Nas, listen to LL Cool J, listen
Yeah.
to...
Yeah.
Well,
Listen
see,
to
that's the
Tribe.
thing is like, so I would fucking. It's weird because like, I got my most like literally most of my music from my older brother, but like I would like stumble through his room and be like, oh yeah, like no facts and like oh like fucking no use for a name and like this and that, but then like under the other CDs, I'm like, oh, what's this? I'm like, oh, Mob Deep. What's a Mob Deep? And like, you know, like
Yeah.
what's an MOP? And like Wu Tang and like what's this? And like what's going on? You know, so like a lot of East fucking rap I got from my brother.
Mm.
West Coast I got from my buddy, actually Damien, who I mentioned earlier on the podcast. But my point is, it's just weird because it's like I picked up a lot more of the like punk rock and shit like that, but I felt like I identified more with like the rap, or like I shouldn't say identified, but I was like I felt that more. You know what I mean?
But look at it now. Like, look at modern music. It's hip-hop.
It is.
know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
even
it
look
took over everything.
at country music.
Yeah, country music
is
like takes yeah.
Literally, like most new country music, if it's not someone like trying to like replicate
Yeah.
old country music, it's somebody like
Now it's the hybrid, you know?
Like,
Like, that seems to
yeah.
be the thing that's going out. I saw it's like some rapper, some white rapper I've never heard of before. It's like 1 million plays on YouTube, and he just does like country rap, and I'm just like, this is
Forgiato.
crazy. Like, he just found a niche, and it was perfect. Like, this
Right.
gravitated to him. I was like, good for him. I can't hate on him. Like, I don't have to
Niche-
listen
niche for
to
everything,
it.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me happy. I was like, yo, really, anyone can do this. You just keep on it. You know what I mean? Like, find your people.
But the thing is I feel like so not only is hip hop finding itself like pushed into other things, even as far back as fucking Linkin Park or fucking. Actually, you could probably go even further back than that.
Run DMC,
No.
but Rage Against the
Blondie.
Machine.
Sleep.
Oh yeah,
Blondie's the
Beastie
original.
Boys.
Who the
Yeah.
fuck?
Beastie Boys.
Beastie
Beastie
Boys,
Boys,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, like, but my point is even back to like fucking like punk and metal being like having hip hop leak into it. You know what I mean? So not only is there many different genres that are like being like tainted, if you will, with the hip hop sound, but at the same time, hip hop's being, I feel like, is being more accepted
Yeah.
or whatever. Like fucking, so it's like.
Every genre has gotten to rap. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, and that's what I mean. Yeah, and but that's what I'm saying is even other than like all the genres fucking taking some rap things in, it's just rap is being more accepted
Yeah.
elsewhere. Anyways, you know what I mean. So it's like it's not like before, like say go back to like the early 90s, you walk into like a skate shop and they're like, fucking Wu-Tang's playing or some shit, like whatever, like fucking Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, you know? It's just like your parents wouldn't bring you there. They'd be like, what the fuck's going
They'd
on
be
in
afraid.
here?
Yeah,
but
right.
now, like, fucking most of the parents are like, yo, like, fucking
parents are wearing
you
the
know,
Wu-Tang
like,
shirts,
I
I
love
find,
this tune
like-
or whatever, right?
I see a lot of dads with the Wu-Tang. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
man,
I see
yeah.
you. I see you.
Oh, man, I found a picture of myself, just real quick. I found a picture of myself the other day of, like, an old picture of myself. I still had fucking dreadlocks.
Oh yeah.
I had a t-shirt on, man. I don't know if I still have the t-shirt, but it was a Wu-Tang t-shirt, but if you looked at it quick, it looked like the Blue Jays symbol, but it had like the W in the middle and shit, but it was like, it was supposed to look like that, but it was so sick. I saw it, I'm like, man, I forgot about that shirt. I'm like, fuck. Or the other one was the Wu-Tang symbol in the middle, and then there was a white light going into it, and then it was like rainbow coming out the other side, like
Oh,
the
like the
Pink
Pink
Floyd.
Floyd.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck.
That's clever. That's clever for sure.
I don't know where that came from, but because I saw the picture of the
Right.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
My cousin, he's like, man, I always check people when they're wearing a Wu-Tang shirt. Like, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite album? Like, who's your
Yeah.
favorite rapper? And
That
shit
shit's
like
serious.
That
for
or
some people,
Nirvana.
man.
Nirvana,
There's a lot of
yeah.
Nirvana shirts out there too that people don't even know what's up.
Man, I watched Nirvana play their fucking, like, live in New York set.
Yeah.
Like,
Classic.
Live, you saw that live.
Live, yeah, on
and then
TV.
it was a week later, eh?
was it that soon?
I think so.
Holy
or
shit,
wait,
yeah.
no, wasn't
March?
was it after his Rome?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It was the New
That's
York,
not
or did they do one in Rome, or were they set to do one in Rome?
Maybe
Why
they
do I-
were set to do
set
it.
to
I
do
don't know
one
about
and then it didn't
that.
happen. I don't even know
We
why
might still
Rome is a
have
thing,
that
but
on
I feel
fucking
like
tape cassette.
yeah,
That's crazy, man.
that is crazy for sure.
But yeah, no, and the thing is too is though is like, so my brother's 4 years older than me, so like, I mean, like, I listened to a lot of this shit like probably before like most kids my age like would have listened to it, you know.
That's how I felt. Like I always thought I had an edge on people because my sister was like almost 10 years older. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I would pick up all this shit, right? So like even actually not long ago, man, we were talking about something and I was like, man, I'm like, that reminds me of this fucking video, and I explained the video to my brother. He's like, I don't remember that video. He's like, I know what you're talking about. Like he knows the song and shit and everything, but he's like, I don't remember the video. And he's like, I don't know if that happens or whatever, right? And I was like, anyways, I ended up looking it up and it all happened, whatever, right? But I was like, it was probably because you were just like, this like music video or whatever, right? But I'm a little kid, I fucking pick up everything. I'm like, I know what color the guy's sunglasses were and shit, you know? I'm just like, I know what he said all the time, you know? I'm like, because kids like fucking, they just remember shit, right? But yeah, so point is like, I remember like a lot of this shit like really clear. I remember like fucking Tupac videos and shit like that, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. But whenever I look back on it, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, I was just sitting there and listening to this, like,
Yeah.
fucking, I wouldn't let my fucking, like, 6-year-old kid listen to this shit or,
Yeah.
like, whatever, you know?
They turned out all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch like Die Hard and like all those like action movies used to make in the early 90s. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, those
I
are
was just a
classic.
kid and I
Yeah.
watched it and I was like, yo, I was watching this?
Yeah.
Man,
I had no idea what was going on.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean?
I was working with these guys, and, like, the one dude's a year older than me, and the other guy, our boss, he's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Fucking, we're all talking and shit, and I said some fucking thing from Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke.
Oh yeah.
And they're
80s
like,
movie too.
Yeah, they're like, what? And I'm like, what? I'm like, you never seen Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, not only have you not seen this movie before, but like, I watched this movie when like, I was like 8 or 9 years old or something like that. I
Yeah.
remember like my dad like rented it and shit, and like,
Yeah.
even like, so like my older brother was like, okay, like, well, he can watch it. So it's like, well, I'm gonna watch it too then, or whatever, right? And then it's like, well, and there's the third one. So my little brother got to watch everything that we got to watch, and I got to watch everything my older, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, let them watch it. But so the point is, I'm like, dude, I watched this at like 8 or 9 years old, and my buddy turns around and goes, well, fuck, he's like, sorry, my parents didn't let me watch like fucked up movies and shit whenever I was a kid. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't know. And then like even too, I'd make Simpsons jokes to him. Like, you ever watch The Simpsons? He's like, no. I'm like,
What? I know, I find it so weird.
What?
People
man,
tell
I'm
me
like,
they've
I
never
would
seen
like
The
have my bath and shit whenever I was like, that's how young I was. Like have a bath and then like watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Like, the
That's
fuck? I
good.
thought that was normal.
I mean, it was like weekends. Like you go to like someone's house, like The Simpsons were always on.
Yeah.
Like a Sunday night.
Sunday
Simpsons are
night,
on.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
New episode
Now
every
you
week.
can literally watch Simpsons all fucking day long if you
It's
want.
not the same though. When you watch the new
No.
ones, I don't know. It's just the way it looks. To me, it's like, yo, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, it's like
Hit the
whenever
same.
Give me that shitty quality.
it's like whenever Family Guy switched
Yeah.
to the like high def shit or like whenever the computer shit, it's like sometimes they'll like kind of rotate the camera or they'll like
Yeah.
move and you can see everything. Like it just looks
I hate
fucking
it. I don't know
weird.
what it is.
Yeah, South Park too, man.
Well,
yeah.
that was a big one because they were all like,
Yeah, they were literally like the fucking.
yeah, exactly. And then when they went completely digital, yeah. I mean, South Park always hits, though. I find South Park is just.
Yeah, the humor on that is unmatched. Like they're so fast, like how they animated, like
So,
something just
a
happened.
week, man.
Yeah,
A week.
I was
They
like,
make
whoa,
that
these
shit
guys
in a
made
week.
quick. I'm like,
Yeah.
this just happened.
Yeah. It's crazy. They'll make those in a week, and sometimes they're like literally like we just got that tape
Last
made
minute.
today, and they're bringing it to the network
Man,
studio.
what was the one they made not long ago? It was like a long episode or something like that.
The
I'm not sure.
Pandemic special.
Was that
Oh
Yeah,
no way!
yeah.
I gotta see
I
that
haven't
one.
watched
I haven't
that.
watched
You know
that.
what?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either, but I keep every time I put one of those fucking stupid masks on, I think the chin diaper thing.
The chin diaper.
Yeah, so my buddy kept saying that, and I was like, "That's good, man. Where'd you get that from?" He's like, "Man, South Park thing." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You haven't seen it?" No, man. He's like, "I'm sitting here saying it because I think you've seen it or whatever." I'm like, "I thought you made it up or like whatever." But
Yeah, no, they're just doing another one. It's like South Park, but the park is spelled with a Q.
I saw that for the Q.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just found out about Q not long ago, actually.
The QAnon thing? Is
Yeah.
That okay.
Like the Q flag or whatever.
Oh, okay. I
It's
don't-
like so Q is like supposed to be a guy that works for like some like
military intelligence or
yeah,
some shit like
and
that.
he's like coming out with the information or something like that or whatever.
Oh really?
And like, but like, people are like, is it some guy that's just like doing this, or is it real, or like what's
All
going
about the
on?
bullshit.
So they've made a fucking flag that's the American flag, but instead of the stars, it's a Q.
Oh right.
So apparently he's like doing some fucking I don't know.
Yeah. It's almost like oh yeah.
Obviously, I didn't fucking read enough into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I seen that one dude too. Who's that one? What's that one guy's name that's just like making all those videos telling us to stand up for our rights?
Robin Bauer.
Yeah, I think that's
Robin-
him. Yeah, he got
Robin
arrested.
Bauer.
He was live getting arrested last night. Eh?
Oh yeah.
You see the video?
I didn't see that.
Apparently
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like suing Doug Ford.
Oh man, he's fighting the system hard.
Oh, the anti-mask guy, the
Yeah, he's
throat
kinda-
tattoo.
Yeah, throat tattoo.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got like the big shiny teeth, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you meant Roman Bauer.
Well, I don't know the guy's
Roman
name.
Bauer's
so,
like a fucking no. He's like very clean cut. Like he was like part of the. He was
Okay.
part of. I think he was like even part of Doug Ford's like fucking politics group
Oh,
or
really?
whatever. And he like spoke up and fucking.
You know
got
what
fired.
who I'm talking about though?
No, I
oh, right, I did. Yes, I know who you guys are talking about now. No, this guy's got like his teeth like look like horse teeth. Honest to God, like.
Nice.
Those are
But,
called something, isn't it? When you get those, the veneers or some shit.
Right, yeah. That's
Oh,
part of
yeah,
it. But he's got
fucking,
the
People pay,
throat
like,
tattoo,
thousands for
and he's
that.
like
Chris,
telling people, Chris is his
I
name.
commented
yes,
on his
that's right.
fucking video the other
Yeah,
day. I was
yeah.
like, holy fucking! I'm like, you can spot those fake teeth from a mile
Yeah.
away.
I thought that was
And I
the Gucci
like,
man teeth. That's Gucci teeth.
Well,
Like,
then
you
I
just
was
have
like,
that
dude,
smile.
I'm
You
like,
know?
who goes into the fucking dentist and goes, give me the buck tooth look? Like,
Yeah, right. Like it
fuck?
looks like horse teeth, man. Honestly.
Shit, sorry, I know what you're talking about. It's like Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say
something.
Chris is his name. So yeah, you're right.
Chris.
But yeah.
On Instagram, is it Chris Crazy or Chris something? Chris
Or
Swayze or
Check
something?
his
Like-
Instagram up, man. He posted video last night live. He was even live with somebody else, and he was getting arrested by police.
He's
And
got a gym in his house.
He's
eh?
just all like, you're not allowed to do this. You know what I mean? He's just pulling out.
He's got
all
Rebel
the
News on his
books.
side.
Yeah, he's pulling out the law books left and right, and I'm pretty sure they actually left him alone. They actually left. All he had to do was give this piece of paper to his lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like the whatever quarantine act, it can't supersede the Charter of Rights.
Yeah.
Like it says right in it somewhere, and like my buddy Frankie, shout out to Frankie Gotts, like, he's like, he just put. I actually should show you the video. He just made this like 2-part documentary video about this whole pandemic situation.
Right.
He's going through all the laws and like the percentages of like the population that got it and recovered, and he's got all this,
All the numbers, yeah.
It's pretty well put together. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know
How factual it is, or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm
but
sure. Again, I don't know. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't see
Yeah.
much evidence for a real pandemic, but
For sure.
They just give you
it's all-
numbers every day, and it's just like, this is what I have to go off.
Yeah, well, when
Oh.
Ottawa, it goes out of the red zone, and then not even a month later, it goes back into the red zone. You're like, what the fuck is going on, man? Honestly,
Fuck,
like,
we're hardly out of
it
that
shouldn't-
last
But I
one.
feel like
yeah,
the
it's like,
last
well-
time red zone was, I feel like, was a lot different from this red zone. 'Cause, like,
this
people
red
still-
zone, yeah.
It's like a lot like lesser or something.
It's
I don't
because
know.
spring's coming, man.
Yeah,
So they're
I
like,
think
oh, we
people
don't
are-
need to keep people locked in because the winter, we can open patios now and like let them give them a little bit of leeway, right? But it's
Isn't the warm weather supposed to kill it, or supposed
That's
to be...
just
That's
it.
what I
It's
said
like
last
fuck.
spring too when it first
Viruses
started. I'm like,
die
yeah,
People
in
were
heat.
out,
Heat.
like-
past flu season
They don't-
now. Like it's
And
fucking
I heard that it's like
summertime.
a
Calm
low
down.
temperature, like it's a lower temperature than normal fucking viruses or some shit.
Yeah, I
So
don't know,
it's
man.
not like. But see, I've even heard that it's like your fucking body temperature can fucking kill it. You know what I mean?
Most,
So,
they're
like-
saying most people that get it are like asymptomatic. It's like
Yeah,
fight it off
But, like,
or
man-
don't show any symptoms and
like I don't know. It's just fucking. It's aggravating.
it is quite aggravating.
I just want to do normal stuff.
I just want to like if the mask thing can go away, I'd be a happy man.
Fuck yeah.
Like honestly, like I wear it just because I don't want to fucking fight with people.
yeah.
that's
like
just it.
I just like want to go in the store and get out.
I don't
and
mind in the
whatever I
winter
can.
time though, you know.
I do though. I'm like making my face.
Yeah, with
like,
the
all
beer,
hot and shit, and,
yeah.
like I can't
Sunglasses
stand it, man.
fog
I
up.
fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And on
I have
top
an
of
issue
it,
with my glasses. Yeah.
I just have a problem with authority at the same time. You know what I mean?
Because you
Like,
have to
it's
do
like,
it.
yeah,
Someone's
it's just
telling
like,
you, like,
oh, and the other thing is, it's not like, hey, like you can't shoot that gun in here. I'm gonna call the cops and they're gonna come and like shoot you or take you away or whatever, right? So I guess what I mean is it's not a serious fucking crime, but it's like it's more like a politeness thing, and it's like, no, I'm not fucking doing this so that you can feel better about your fucking day. You know what I
It's
mean?
not my
Like,
responsibility.
fuck, you know, but I just do it because I'm like, man, like
Dude,
no
that's
one's
stay
ever really
scared, stay
confronted me like too much with it. Like even sometimes, man, I go into a store, I'm like, oh shit, I've already gotten everything, and I'm at like the lineup. Oh fuck, I don't even have my mask on. Fuck it.
I'll come
And then
this
I'll just
far.
go, I'm like, hey, how's it going? What's up? Yeah, whatever. And usually like most of the stores are in from, I know them and shit. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, cool, right on. And I'll walk out. I'm like, I wonder if they're just like being nice or they didn't even notice, you know? I'm like, whatever,
Yeah.
fuck it. But my point is like, yeah, part of it is because I'm like, it's not even like a serious fucking thing. It's not like, I don't mean, I'm not like trying to say COVID's not a serious thing, but I'm saying that me wearing a mask isn't a serious fucking crime where they're going to come and like shoot me or fucking harass me.
it shouldn't be. Anyway.
So like, why, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, that makes me want to do it even less, you know? It's like, I feel like it's like a choice, you know what I mean? Like, which I should
I've
have
seen,
that
like,
choice.
So like videos of like people freaking out in stores, like
Oh yeah.
you're
but it's also clout too. People are like, you see them filming themselves
Definitely.
before they even go in somewhere, and it's like, look, they're trying to.
yeah,
it's like,
true. That's definitely
Did
happening.
you see
a
the
lot.
guy with the
It's like it's
mask?
not helping any. Like you're just making yourself look like an ignorant dick. Like, this is my rights, and you
Yeah.
can't.
there was a
do this
lady
to
like
me."
flipping out
It's
about it. I
like,
was
you
like,
look
wow,
like a
that's
fucking
crazy.
idiot when you approach it like that.
Yeah.
You see the guy with the fucking, he had a mask that he made up that was like printed on the
Yeah.
front. It looked like he was wearing the mask like this.
Right,
So you
yeah.
could see like his face and
I
his
saw that,
his
and the
nose
chick
or whatever.
confronting him. Man.
Yeah, and the chick. So I just saw the chick confronting him, and I'm like, "What's going on? I don't know what's going on." And then I saw like his video. He's like, "We're gonna go like troll people, right?" So this chick's like losing it on him, and her boyfriend's standing there like she walks away, and he's like, "Sorry guys," like whatever. She's just losing it, and Buddy's like, "Yeah, I have a mask on." She's like, "Whatever, blah blah blah. This and that. You should wear it right. You gotta put it over your face like this and blah blah blah, whatever." And he's like, takes it off, and he's like, "I am wearing a mask." Like obviously, like he's like fucking with her, but at the same time, it's just like she's like almost like having a heart attack in front of him. Why are you so affected by this? Even her boyfriend's like, "Ah, sorry." It's like everyone else sees that you're just fucking losing it for no reason. So like, why don't you just calm down and then like let everyone else just like live their fucking life, you know? Like those are the type of people that look out their window and they're like, "Look at that guy. He sat at the stop sign for long." Or like, you know what I mean? Like, or like, "Oh, look at that guy. Like he was on his phone when he drove by."
Yeah.
And like shit like that. Like the people that
It's
are
like
just like,
shut
"Oh."
Suburb people.
Like, yeah, exactly. Look at that guy. Like
Shut up.
him doing that thing.
We'll
And
do
it's
something
like,
else. you
yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah, read a fucking book, man. Yeah, I hate that. And that's the other thing too. Is it's like, man, I'm like, I just don't like.
Imagine
I
not
don't
being
know, it's just-
into your life enough that you have to be all up in everybody else's
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Like that's like fucked up.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm a
But
little emotional there.
That's happening though, man. Like that's what happens when we're all been locked down for so long.
Jeez.
We want our freedom back.
Fuck. Seriously though, yeah. Well, and like I don't know. I would like to maybe like try and start a fucking like everyone just go do stuff and then like hey, let's all meet in the park. Like, we don't have
That
to,
would
like,
be the
Parliament
only
Hill
really way
all
to happen,
over
like,
again.
honestly,
Yeah.
like,
Parliament
hang
Hill
out.
all over
When
again.
the cops
so you
show
just
up,
need to start
we,
like a big
arrest
Reddit thread
all
on
of
like
us.
Ottawa businesses.
We need it
reopening-
everywhere though. We need
reopening
all the
plan,
cities
or,
like
like-
just being like,
and then-
let's go.
But they did that in Texas, didn't they? They just reopened everything. They just
Yeah.
like, fuck
Yeah,
this,
man.
like no masks. No...
And Sweden never did anything. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. There's a part of time where I kind of stopped following, but like they didn't do masks for the longest time, which I don't think they even did. They were like everything was open and shit. Like my cousin lives there and shit. But they were open and like so. Don't get me wrong. You probably Google it and find out there was like a couple months where they were doing shit. But I know like
I just think
up
it should
until
be a
last
voluntary thing.
fall they
Didn't they have a
weren't
concert
doing
lately? Like,
anything.
and then just like there's no cases, whatever, like no mask restriction or something.
Where's that?
In New Zealand.
Oh yeah, New Zealand. Yeah, they had some fucking because yeah. Well, also too, there's like a small island, but they opened up pretty quick and fucking. Yeah, they had a fucking big
Man, I'm
event
pretty
and
sure
shit like
Wuhan,
that.
China had a festival where it started.
Yeah,
How it's pronounced? Wuhan?
Wuhan or whatever. Yeah.
But even in the States, you see like concerts, like little mini.
Yeah, well,
clubs. It's
the
just
state
like,
of yeah,
yo.
you do for sure.
Man,
but
did
the
Damn,
state
like,
of
should I go to the
Florida-
States and make money? Like, this
Yeah.
is crazy. Like,
There's
Yeah,
only the
right?
state of Florida that stayed open the entire time.
Yeah.
Was only Florida.
what is getting there now? I guess.
Man, fucking Nelk Boys went to fucking. Do you know the Nelk Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they went to fucking somewhere in Texas or whatever.
Oh, just
And
recently.
then they did like
yeah.
a meet thing, so like just like thousands of people showed up.
That's
They're,
what I mean, like, there's
driving down the
people-
street, pulling up and fucking whatever. But they said that the fucking, the cops told them that they could get charged for inciting a riot.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to go there, so they just drove through and drove away because they were like, man, we can't. Like his manager
They
or
didn't wanna
whatever,
take the
somebody was like, you
charge.
can't stop
Yeah.
or whatever. And Kyle's like, I'll take the charge. He's like, no, we can't stop, man, because then it'll be like you did it. There's a helicopter flying over and shit. Like, so I mean, like, taking it pretty seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good press in a way, though.
True
For
that,
them,
yeah.
it's
All that
amazing
happening, even,
press.
For sure.
Even if you don't go, it's the controversy of
Yeah,
the whole
and then
thing.
imagine like there's a chance that like people saw that for the first time, never knew who Nelk Boys was, and then see that they're like, "What the fuck? Who
Yeah.
are these crazy fucks?" You know what I mean?
But yeah, I just think it's a lot of everyone's like contradicting everything. Like it's all like every next announcement is like contradiction of the last.
Yeah.
And shit. Like it's like
Definitely.
It seems to defy logic, right?
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't make a lot of sense. And I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination, but
It's kind of just where it's,
like-
wherever it's convenient for wherever you are in the world, and like
Yeah,
whatever you do,
man.
it's like this is what works for me. So
Yeah,
this is what I'm
fuck.
gonna do.
shit.
like we were saying earlier, we don't believe in coincidences. Like they have like this big event 208 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like when you see something, like you notice something, it's for a reason. If it's a small detail, a color will just set you off, and like maybe like 3 days down the line, you're like, oh shit, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
It's never like if you remember it, then you know it's something.
Yeah.
That's what your deja vu is or whatever, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
Man, fuck. Yeah, actually, I was just talking about deja vu not long ago. I think deja vu is weird.
Like you'll
It's
dream
weird,
about someone
man.
and then that person texts you, you know?
Yeah, man, I've had things before, man, where literally, like, say like we're having a conversation, we're like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah, this and that, you know, fucking, I don't know, fuck, we're talking, you're like, can you get me lug nuts for my car or whatever, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, but I didn't ask what size they were. And then later you'll text me like, oh, by the way, they're fucking 17 mil or whatever, right? So like that, we've had a like conversation leading up to that, and you have like provided the answer that I'm probably gonna ask the question
Yeah.
too soon.
Yeah.
But so there's those situations. That's normal because we've had that conversation. But I've had situations where literally like I'll be like, yo, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, okay, cool, yeah, come pick me up. And I'll be like, fuck, like, does this guy have a sister? Or just, you know, like, that's random. But just any question in my head, like, oh, whatever. And then they'll text me and be like, oh, like, by the way, I have a sister. Or, like, whatever. And,
Yeah.
like, not exactly that. They'd be like,
No,
oh, my
I know
sister's
what you
coming or
mean.
something, right? And I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm like, man, they totally just answered the question without me asking. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, so, like, my point with the original example is that it's obvious that you're gonna text me and tell me what the size is because we've had this previous conversation. But like, just I've had situations where I never fucking talked about it, and they'll be like, oh, like, wonder what color shirt they're wearing today. Like, man, my red shirt. Like, I'm like, holy fuck, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like someone you know, you just happen to be wearing the same thing. It's just like,
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? But it's like you said, you put the thing out, like you
Yeah.
put the message out.
like it already happened. You know what I mean? Like you thought you had choice in the matter. You just like went with it. You chose to see it that way.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
that's it. Because you unlock the thought of red, right? And then you go and then you attach it to something that's coincidental.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
True, yeah.
That's one way to look at it, too.
That's how these like the mind like the people like what's whatever Brown, Sylvia Brown, whatever.
Yeah.
The psychic. You know, they lead questions in and they're like, oh, it's beginning with a this or that, and they like, you know what I mean, and then people attach meaning to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Because things are being thrown at you all day, right? But whatever's weighing heavy on your mind is how you perceive everything negatively or positively, right?
'cause
So,
even-
like, the color red's on your mind all day. Well, whatever shows up red to you that day, you're going to be like, man, that fucking red box or
But
whatever.
I've seen numbers though, man. Like I see numbers that like are like you can't argue that was on purpose or that's like
Right.
because like
I get
even
you.
too like there's a number that I see all the time or no I shouldn't say all the time but like for a while I saw it all the time but then like now I'll still see it every once in a while and shit but the numbers mean things, right? And then if you add that number up, it's like your fucking angel number or some shit. So now the number that I always have seen adds up to 11. Well, then I for a while I started seeing 227 like fucking everywhere. And I had this like question in my mind about some shit and like I kept seeing 227. I'm like, what's with this 227 shit? So I looked it up. And so, like, when you have two numbers beside each other, it just, like, accents that number, like, whatever that meaning is. It's, like, a really strong meaning or whatever, right? But the fucking twos were telling me, I believe, were telling me that whatever you're thinking in your mind is right. And, like, be that way or do that thing. And so I was like, oh, shit, like, that's what they're trying to tell me. But then I looked at it, and if you add 227, it's 11. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, that's fucked up. But like the thing is like that's just like one example. I have a bunch of numbers that I see that add up to 11.
Yeah.
And like it's just
So what does
that I
11
can't
stand
deny.
to?
I can't deny because the other thing is the 11 number is a teacher number and it means that you're whatever like you learn, you like like you're supposed to like pass on or whatever, right? And like I was like, whoa, that's fucked up because like I mean, I'm not like some kind of like fucking guru or whatever the fuck, but like I find myself too many times than not being like, hey man, like I went through this and this is what I fucking or like, hey,
But
look
even
at
this
it
now,
this
like you're
way or
spreading
whatever, right?
information, like
Like,
every time
yeah.
you do these, you're just spreading it, whether you're conscious of it or not. Like
That's
when you let someone tell a story or you're telling the story, like you're giving someone information. It's
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, like,
yeah,
that's me. I did that. Like
yeah, true, yeah. Well, and that's just is like fucking, and it's like too. Whenever even after that, like I was like, whatever, like doesn't matter, like I noticed that like okay, yeah, I have been teaching people stuff, but like I almost like try not to do that because I'm like, don't like now ride on that and be like, I'm supposed to tell everyone everything.
Yeah,
you
you don't
know what
wanna
I
be
mean?
preachy,
Like,
yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
like, hey, like, calm down, keep your advice to yourself until like.
it's just never how you imagine it to be. It's never what you want it to be. You just think that that's the idea you had in your head, like how it's gonna happen. Like you'll physically be a teacher.
Yeah,
You can be
yeah.
a teacher in like so many different ways.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you don't even have to actually like physically teach a
Yeah.
lesson. Like, yeah, it's just like.
Like you can be a great painter, but you're not painting. You can just be cinematography. You know what I mean? You just make sure the movie looks really. But the
oh,
the
yeah,
color
you're
and
like
the tones, and what gives it the vibe. You know?
painting a picture,
Yeah.
but
It's
like.
the color, like a blue tone over in a video can make or break it. You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Giving
Oh,
it the
yeah,
vibe. You
man.
want,
That's
is
the
it a
whole vibe.
cold or it's like very like soft? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
like
soft,
red is easy.
I like that.
Red is intense, or red can be whatever you want.
Like
you know?
dark
Yeah.
and evil, yeah.
Yeah, evil, sexy,
Passionate,
whatever
yeah.
you want it to be. You know?
Yeah,
I
true
don't know.
that. I like that soft.
I mean,
Always like smells and shit.
yeah, and then green,
like,
right?
say, like, cologne, like, oh, it's a
and shit.
soft-
It's like little
Smell like
subtle things. You
gold.
just trick people into like McDonald's. You know what I mean? Yellow, slow down, look
Yeah.
at me. You know, red. Like
yeah,
it's
it's right.
And
Slow down,
apparently
slow.
red and yellow are supposed to fucking make you hungry.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
or they're like related with
See?
food or
Well,
something
they're
like
just one
that.
fucking.
Just
they're-
fucking colors, man.
Yeah, they're one color away from fucking being Rasta. Not that that means
shit.
anything, obviously, but yeah.
Fuck, man, we got wild on that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
a journey.
Yeah, fuck.
Fucking right.
So
Should we ask a few more questions?
I got a fucking. Actually, I just have a quick request.
Yeah.
So you're a rapper, and well, we didn't discuss
Is
rap
that
a whole
what he
lot,
is?
but
No.
Would you say I'm a rapper?
you want it? Well, I got artist.
Yeah.
Be careful. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm kidding.
You people, but normally I ask people to freestyle and shit, so I'm just leading up to that. You want to do like a little freestyle or some shit?
I'll pass on that.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine.
That's respectable.
However, we do have the fucking
The
lightning
lightning
round.
Ooh, what's
Every
I'll ask
question's
you some
worth double the
questions.
points.
Right.
I'm actually gonna fucking. I thought I could make it, but I'm gonna fucking go take a pee.
Hit it up. All right.
And then,
We'll dig into this. Oh, derailed the train over there.
spelt like a mouthful.
Damn.
I'll bring some stuff.
Bring some stuff over.
All right.
And during that break, hit that red button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, if you haven't already. All right. So here we go. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Ready for it. He's ready for it.
Get
Even
in
a
that mic
question.
little bit,
Yeah.
too.
Sorry.
Powerade or Gatorade?
Gatorade.
Gin or vodka?
Gin.
Would you rather take a plane or take a train?
Oh, take a plane.
Damn right. Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
A, boobs or booty?
Booty.
All day.
I mean, I'll take either or. If I have the choice.
Would you rather be stuck deep sea or outer space?
Outer space. Come on now.
Fucking right. Would you rather never laugh again or never use your smartphone again?
Never use my smartphone again.
Get out of here, right?
Don't need it.
Be gossiped about or never talked about at all?
Be gossiped about. Come on.
Fucking right.
Clout.
Get that name in their mouth. Forget who you are or forget who everybody else was?
Oh, forget who I am.
Damn. Would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
Elephant trunk.
Damn
So
right.
you can do something with it, you know
You
what I
can,
mean? What are you
yeah.
gonna do with a giraffe in there?
Yeah, you
Be
can just
taller,
see
I
well at
guess. Yeah.
concerts and shit. Would you rather be forgotten or hatefully remembered?
Hatefully remembered.
Hatefully remembered, man. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
One sized dog. Jeez. Sounds scary,
Let's
actually.
go.
That's intimidating. It's
Yeah.
a big dog.
Yeah.
It's a big duck, man. That beak would just knock you the fuck out. Would you rather go about your day naked or fall asleep for a whole year?
Go about my day naked. Why not?
Can't miss a year, man.
Yeah, man.
Would you rather live one life that lasts 1,000 years, or that lasts just 1,000 years, or would you rather live 10 different lives that last 100 years each? Sorry, fucking that one up.
10 different lives.
10 different
Yeah.
lives, yeah.
Why not?
Would you rather have $2 million or 2 million followers?
$2 million.
Take that money. If you could obtain a skill instantly, what would it be?
A skill?
Yeah, like it's just programmed right into you, Matrix
oh man,
style.
like run really fast.
Yeah, like fucking Flash style, or Quicksilver.
Yeah.
If you were to lose one of your 5 senses, what would it be?
Tingling.
Probably smell.
Smell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some things is like, you know what? I don't have to smell it ever again, you know? Like, it sucks. Like, food's not going to taste as good anymore because I can't smell it. But
Well, we
Out of
always
all
say
the
in this
things, isn't it?
situation that it wouldn't change that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
for the sake of the fucking
Because
genie in a
taste
bottle
is a
thing.
sense, so you get to keep that one.
Yeah.
right?
'cause I can do a lot of things without smelling it, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, for me, it was like, okay, like touch.
I need
That's
that.
sex.
You
Yeah.
need that,
Like,
man.
that's like the
Eyes,
number
like,
one
I
thing.
want to see what
I
I'm
want to
Yeah.
see shit like and
Do
it's
I have to
okay,
hear
I
it?
have to hear music and like be able to do that shit. I gotta fucking what's the other one? Taste.
Taste, man.
Man, I love food, man.
Love food.
I will say I smell a lot. I smell shit all the time. Like anything. Like I put my hand in something. Like oh, what? You know, like just anything.
It's the curious one.
Like, yeah, like my buster, I'll bust some shit up, smell it. But anyways, I'm like, you know what? Even though I like smelling shit, I'm like, that's literally the only one you could sacrifice. You need them all.
Yeah. You can never. There's not one you'd be like, no, I don't need this.
Oh, for
you
sure.
need everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything, give me
yeah.
another one.
And even
I
when
feel
you
like
give
I'm
up
missing
smell,
one.
you're still like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
I like that though.
What do you think another one would be if you could add another sense? What are you missing?
Well, we already saw the
Sixth
Sixth Sense.
Well, you know what I mean?
No.
Something more fun.
If I had to another sense, like so, reading people's minds, I think could probably fall into that category. What else could be another sense?
What do you mean by reading? Like you can hear what they're
Hear
thinking,
people's
or
Yeah.
you feel what they're
Yeah,
feeling.
Ooh.
I think it would be more
It's
like.
different. You can
That
hear
is
someone
different.
else.
Telepathy would be one thing.
But they're
right?
probably both.
Yeah.
There's two.
I don't
Yeah.
think it would be. Well, reading their minds would be more like a paranormal skill
Yeah,
or something.
right.
But like to feel their
I think that's more possible.
emotions
Right.
would be. I think that's the sixth sense.
What do you
though,
think
is
the
feeling- when you
Spidey
feel-
sense is then?
Like
Because it's like
intuition?
something that's like
Since
fucking
5.5.
physical, right?
Ledger 2.
Haven't you been somewhere like, yo, my ex is somewhere close by? That's like your Spidey sense.
Dude,
you know
Right,
what
yeah,
I mean? Like
right.
you
Man.
feel it. It's
You
like
can
fuck, I was
feel
right.
it, right? Yeah.
I
So-
have.
Or you're like, oh, why is my day gonna be shitty? It's like, oh.
What's going on?
Your boss
here?
comes.
Oh,
Your boss comes
man.
in. He's like, oh my god, fuck, I knew it.
Yeah.
Everything seems too real right now.
See, you woke up too happy from your dream. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I fucked it up.
They call that a callback.
Yeah, in your dream, you called in today. You had the best day ever, like Ferris Bueller type.
Oh
shit, you
man,
know?
just real quick, dreams and phone calls.
Yeah.
Not even phone calls, just like phones in general. So many times, man, wake up and hear my phone buzzing or whatever, and then lay there and be like, oh, should I like go like see what's up or should I just go back to sleep? Pretty tired, I'll go back to sleep. Boom. I dream that I like woke up and then like texted somebody back or whatever, and then like in my mind I'm like up, right? And then like I'll hear it go off again or whatever. I'll wake up later, I'm like,
I can
oh
definitely
shit,
relate
did
to
I
that.
go back to sleep or like whatever?
Like you sleep texted, like
But I didn't actually text them.
Oh,
I just
shit.
thought I
I
fell
used to do
asleep and
that,
thought
like,
I did. But
Getting ready for like work or school, like you like.
I've
you're lying
predicted
there.
who it was before. Where like I'll not even predicted like, oh, it's gonna be this person, but like that dream that I had was about that person, and then I'll wake up like I texted that person back, and then I'll wake up and be like,
predicting the
whoa,
future.
it was them. But like I feel like that could be coincidental because someone who texts you a lot, you know what I mean, is gonna text you or whatever, right? So
Could be.
and it wasn't just random people, it was like people that I text with a lot, so
Yeah.
that could be a coincidence. But
yeah. But you could dream about someone tonight, and then someone randomly, that same person messages you to be on your like wants to do an interview with you or some shit. You know, like you
Oh,
don't know
really?
this, but like you weren't
let's
in
do
contact
it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that. See
I
if it
pictured
works.
the ghost from Ghostbusters.
Slimer. Oh, that's my guy.
I actually did, but yeah.
That's
No, that's true. I
Him
should
and
try
Bill Murray, you'd have to interview together. You know. to
Yeah,
see-
oh man.
Get both sides of it. You know,
Yeah.
like right down the
Caddyshack
scene.
and the fucking
Yeah,
the gopher
shit.
from Caddyshack.
Yeah.
All right. There's one last question.
Oh shit, are we there already?
Just the last one now. Yeah. Right. So you find a book, you start to read it, and you find out that it's about your life up to this point where you found the book. Do you keep reading it knowing it holds your future, or do you put that book down?
I put that book down.
Put that book down.
I don't want to know how it happens.
Quick things. Boom.
Don't think about it.
It's true.
And you're worried every day. You're like, oh no, it's day, whatever.
It's well, and,
Right.
yeah. There's so many like factors too because I was like, well, I would just read it and then like do all the wrongs, right?
Would you want to know when
What?
or how?
What? I die?
Yeah, when you die or how you
I
die.
would try not to read that far, maybe.
No, but if you had to choose,
When or how?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because man, the how would be insane paranoia. Every day, you'd be like,
Exactly.
"Yo, fuck that, man."
imagine it was like
Right?
water. Oh, it's
Imagine you
water
die in
bottle.
a car accident.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm
Never getting in a car again.
I'll be at home.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. Fuck that, man.
It's the
yeah.
one time you
And then
hold it
it's-
to.
yeah.
Car comes through your fucking wall.
Inevitably, yeah, life would be like throw you this scene where you have
So-
to get into a car, right?
But then when? Well, I guess when, like,
That would fuck with you too, though.
cause I was just thinking, I'm like, well, I was gonna say when you could hide from, but if when is gonna be when, then like no matter what,
Wouldn't
you hide in your
matter.
basement from the airplane crash that you're supposed to be in. Like you
plane's
said, the
hitting
airplane's
your
coming
house.
through your house and killing you in the basement or whatever, right? So I mean, like, so I feel like when would probably. When it'd be hard because it'd be like,
You
man,
try
like,
living backwards.
I only
then.
have this much time,
Yeah.
right? Or I
Yeah.
have way like I have so much time, right? So you,
What do you do on that day too when you know when? It's like fuck.
I think
you-
when
Oh, right.
I think when probably because the
Not
other thing
how?
too is that everyone else would be able to like. It's like when you have cancer or whatever.
You
and,
could
like,
be
you get
there
to-
and
so
plan
everyone's
a
kind of like,
goodbye
hey,
and shit.
well, we know this is happening or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What if it was
like,
distant
hey,
in
man,
the future? Like
well,
you
if, yeah,
knew?
but if exactly. Like if I was like, hey man, like in 40 years, like it says that in 40 years, like
Yeah.
at this time I'm gonna die or whatever, right? Well, then everyone knows, like, okay, yeah. First of all, cool, I have this much time. But second of all, when it gets to that time, everyone's like, okay, yeah, like, cool, let's do this and this and this because I know you're going. You know what I mean? Like my mom passed away from cancer when I was 16. So
Sorry.
like the thing is like, it's not your fault. No,
Oh.
but the thing is like. Well, I found out whenever I was 6 years old that she had the cancer. So like, I went 10 years of my life being like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then like the last like year or so was like, okay, like, see or whatever. But like, so my point is like, I feel like that was kind of easier than just like, oh, they had a heart attack and just like it was just
That
oh
was
boom
it,
like
yeah.
whatever. So my point is like I feel like it would be easier that way on everyone else. Like it's like, hey guys, like. By the way,
plan
it's
for
this
it,
September that like it's going down or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably be better because but the only thing is if you found out it was next week, then you're like fuck.
Yeah.
But just the how I think would
Insane, man. Drive you nuts.
well, especially if I found out it was a car accident, I'd be like whoa, and I'd drive everywhere like I'd drive.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do. So I'd be like fuck. So I feel like that could hinder your
It
choices a lot.
Oh yeah, man.
So, yeah.
It'd just make you a
What if it was
Cool.
just a clue? Like how you die. It would be like water bottle or like lighter. Like you're
I
never
don't
gonna
know.
smoke again?
I don't know.
Wow, that would be fucked. Yeah, because it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be the fucking lighter you used to light the smoke. It could be the lighter that someone else used to light your house on fire.
Yeah.
Or it's like
Like-
the exact amount of liters that you drowned in of water. So it's like 3 liters of water. That's all it says.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Now we're getting crazy.
Yeah.
Are you never gonna
because that-
shower? You never gonna
Well,
bathe?
yeah.
Like
Oh, I didn't bring my water jug in, but I have a gallon jug
You'd
of
be
water or
afraid
whatever,
to
right?
ever fill it or
A
get it
gallon
full?
weighs
Yeah.
10 pounds. So the thing is it, do I drown on this fucking 3 liters of water? Or does this fucking thing come out of the fucking sky
Oh,
and
right,
fucking
and hit
smoke
you in
me
the
in the
head,
head
right,
or whatever,
yeah.
I feel
right?
like there should be
yeah.
a movie, like a new Saw. It's like, yo, water
Oh,
bottle.
It's like Final
yeah,
Destination.
you have 60
shit,
minutes to
man.
figure out how
people.
you die or you
5
die.
people find out when,
Oh,
5 people
fuck.
find out how.
Yeah. Man, that's actually crazy
Hollywood
shit.
movie right
yo.
there.
Yeah,
Wild.
there's like some kind of clues that brings them all together,
Yeah.
and then
Make it happen.
they all
Writers.
they all become friends, and like
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be
that's
intense.
crazy. Yeah, man, fuck.
Oh yeah.
We were just talking about me and my brother Tyler. We were talking about I forget what it's called, but it's an anime thing. And there was a guy on the show. We asked him about the book thing, and he said, "There's this anime thing, and this kid's like searching for this thing, and so he's trying to find whatever it is. But it's like I think the question is like, does it exist, or like, is it what you think it is, or something like that? And so some guy asked him like, hey, like, what if like you don't like what if it isn't what you think it is or whatever, right? Or what if it doesn't exist? And he's like, it's the like chase, it's the wonder and shit, right? Like I want to find out or whatever, right? But so how Buddy translated that to that question is he said I would keep the book but I wouldn't read it, but just knowing that like I could read that book at any time, to like knowing that it's like there kind of thing, you know what I mean, or whatever. I forget how, now I
can
just
have the answer at any time.
I just did a bad like explanation of it, but he related the two somehow. But I was like, yeah, I'm like that's kind of, I actually like that idea because it's like,
How do you trust someone's not gonna read that though and like fuck with your life? You know,
yeah,
you know?
true. Put a little lock
It'd
on
be
it.
like it'd be like a weakness that you always have.
Yeah, it's like the strategy guide to your life. But for real though, it's like, because I used to like, I'm like, I want to beat this game without looking at the strategy guide. And I'm like, oh, go and look at it. I'm like, oh, keep like, I'm like, oh, don't look at it. Oh, take drugs. Like, oh, yeah. I want to do another one. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, fucking. So, I mean, I feel like I'd be that dude. I'm like, well, wait. Just go to fucking March 19th. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like, I'm going to do this now. But I said, though, whenever I answered the question, I said, well, if you found, I would try and right the wrongs or whatever, right? So anywhere that I did something wrong, or not did something wrong, but where I failed or whatever, I would try and like change that or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I think it was Jonesy who said like, but butterfly effect, what if you change the wrongs that you did, or the bad things or whatever that happen, and that changes the good things, so that changes the outcome of the whole like story or whatever, right? Oh shit, I'm like, I never thought of that, right? So I'm like, wow, like, so I don't think I'd want to read the book.
No.
Plus, if you believe you have the book, that means you have no choice in your life. It means you've never made a choice.
Very true.
It's just following the story. If you believe, if you're carrying a book that says that,
If you
That's
read it
true.
and like,
yeah,
followed
yeah,
it, right?
then you're
It
just,
means
true. Then you're just,
You're not going off your own
then
instinct.
you're just mocking the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
unless you wrote it in the book that you discover that, but then that's like
Yeah.
that's too much.
Then,
Crazy,
then
that's-
you're,
yeah.
then you're just stuck in that mirror effect.
Yeah.
That's an endless loop.
Shit, that's
In this
deep.
book, I wrote in this book, and in that book, I wrote in this
Man,
book.
we should
and in that
fucking
book.
seriously sell movie ideas.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like someone could make a
Gotta at least
Netflix series.
one.
This is 2 seasons at least.
Man, seriously, yeah. And I was just
the
gonna
first
say,
one will be good. The second one, you just do it anyways.
I was just gonna say, Netflix, man, they have like a time of year when you can like send in stories to them for like fucking, or like
Could you not
pictures
just
and
do
shit.
that anytime?
You probably could, but there's
Yeah.
like a deadline for it or some shit, because
They
so
probably
a
get
guy I know, he wrote a book or some shit, and like it's like published and everything and like out, and he's trying to sell the story as like a TV show to Netflix.
Right.
So then he made a post, I think it was like in the fall last year. He's like, hey, don't forget everybody, like tonight's the deadline to like get your stories into Netflix and shit, right? And I was
yeah.
like, oh man, like
Damn.
it'd be crazy, like
It
fucking.
is.
I don't know. I think I think I would
cool.
like writing a show. It'd have
be
to probably
cool,
have to
man.
be a funny show, but like even too, like I just think of things. My brother's pretty good at it too, Tyler.
Yeah.
But like I just think of things that are like,
By the time your job is writing on The Simpsons, like you're just a
oh
writer.
man,
You're just in a room with 10 other guys, just
Right.
throwing like, hey, what could we possibly make up today? Like, I would
Yeah.
love to get paid to do that all day.
Yeah, seriously.
That'd
Yeah.
be wicked.
We already have the story here. We just need like like
And you have the itchy and scratchy, like you
We
have a
need the
little
jokes for the
subplot.
scene.
You can make
Yeah.
anything you want happen, pretty much.
yeah.
Let's cut his head off. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
crazy, man.
Oh shit! And it's cartoons, so you can be
Yeah.
creative with
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly.
look at Family Guy, just random thing after.
Yeah. Cut
And he
scene
made
to
so
cut
many
scene.
shows too, though.
Like it's like his idea, and we'll just run that.
Yeah.
Just put a
Seriously,
character in
though.
it. Just put a character in it.
Fuck, we should get a crew together and fucking start some shit. We should make a pilot for some shit.
Yeah.
Get 350, film some shit for us.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Seriously though, make a fucking like 22-minute pilot.
Why
Some
not?
fucking TV show.
Yeah.
You write the script and I'm down.
Man, I had these guys from it was like Hamilton or some shit, or Halifax or some shit.
Yeah.
I forget what the company was called, but it was like Halifax something or other. But they fucking hit me up. I don't even know what the fuck. Maybe I fucking like messaged them or something. But either way, we were in contact with each other, and they were like asking me to write for this like TV show and shit.
Dude,
But I was like, yeah, for sure, let's do it. And so I'm like, cool. They must have like seen like who I am or something, or like whatever, right? And then they're like, yeah, it's like this fucking. It was like Breaking Bad type shit, but it was like teenagers, and like they already have the whole first season written. He just wanted me to like help write the second season.
Mhm.
So I'm like, cool. Like, how do we do this? He's like, okay, so this is the first season. Gives me a rough idea what's going on, and then like here now, like start writing the second season. I'm like, wait, but like, A, you're not paying me. B, I'm the only one doing this. Like, do we not like get
That's a lot.
together and like talk about this? Like, I'm not going to Halifax or anything, but can we like Zoom everybody and be like, this is what's gonna happen? You know, I gave him some ideas. He's like, good, yeah. He's like, no, like, just like put it together and let me know. I'm like, I don't like do this though. Like, I thought you were like, hey man, like you want to fucking like try this out and like we'll help.
We'll give you
through it
50
all.
bucks
Like,
every week.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, like I'll come, like whatever. But I felt like I was just like writing it all, so I'm like, I'm not just gonna write a story and then give it
I'll
to
just
you.
do it for yourself. Yeah.
And
Makes
then yeah,
sense.
and then the other thing too is I'm like, what do I do? Like I guess I could have like asked more questions, but I'm like, what do I do? Do I fucking write the complete fucking entire like script of this thing for like 8 episodes of the second season, or do I like write like a rough like points of like this episode is like getting us to this point and like this episode's getting us past that point and like further, or like do I write the complete total fucking like screenplay for this thing? Like what am I doing, you know? And I was just like I'm not about to just start doing this for free. And like, I don't know, man. Like even if they were all like, hey, let's all get together and like do it, and we'll show you how to like do this, and like we'll take your ideas and shit. Cool, I'll do that for free. But if you're just like, here, man, like write this shit for me, I'm like, wow.
Well, especially if it's like if the first season is already written, and you're writing this, you'd have to be intimately familiar with what happened in the first season to continue, unless it's like its own standalone.
Well, did he give you
Well,
like
no,
like a
yeah. Well,
plot
he
or
gave me,
something?
yeah, he gave me like the plot. So like, there's like, it was fucking. He gave me like enough detail and shit. Like, just he did kind of just give me like the like, this is where we like went through and ended up at this point.
Yeah, that would be tough as tough
but-
ask for any writer.
Yeah.
Like here's a rough idea of what's going on.
But it wasn't
Right,
bad.
the
It was
second
like
season.
this fucking like, I don't know, this dude goes to jail or some shit for like selling weed maybe or something. And then like while he's in jail, his girlfriend's like running some fucking prostitute thing, and then she gets like raped, I think, at the end of the fucking first season, and like you think she's dead, I think. And then like I was to like write how like she like didn't die, and like her and this other girl that actually she's friends with, but like the guy in jail, her boyfriend was like banging this chick, and like she didn't know that, so she's like became friends with her or whatever, and then they're supposed to be like trying to like get back at these people that like raped her and almost killed her or whatever and shit, and like I was like, oh shit, I'm like, fuck. So like it was kind of like he gave me more detail than that, but still at the same time too, yeah, it's like
It'd been the next hit.
well, like
know.
I guess I'd have to be
Should've done
more
it.
familiar with it.
Depending on where you took it to, right?
Yeah. But again, too, I was like giving him ideas and shit. I'm like, so what if we did like this? He's like, cool, yeah. He's like, just like do it and let me know when you're
No,
done.
never do something for free. And get paid
Yeah,
for it, you know?
what?
Okay, so another random question:
That's good, though.
if you had a favorite color, what would it be?
There it is.
And do you have a favorite color?
Dude,
I said if you had
it's
one.
blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I forgot to bring toilet paper.
I think that.
There you go.
My
For
God,
G
thank you.
Tackle. Right, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show, bro.
Yo, I appreciate it. Finally, man.
Yeah, fucking right, man.
I like the conversations, man. I like
yeah,
the
that's
topic.
what
Yeah,
we're all
man. I
about.
actually, I was like,
I was
again,
like,
too-
I hope they don't make it like a list of like, okay, let's add some
No,
this, you know what I mean?
well, and
No.
that's what we try and steer away from is like we just let it go wherever it goes, because like I didn't want to be like, okay, like, are you done? We have another question. Like, as soon as you're done talking, I'm gonna like ask you another
That's what I was
question.
hoping it
and,
wasn't
like,
gonna be.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And
I
it's
was
like,
like,
oh,
oh.
like here, let me check my thing. It's very informal. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, like whatever. So I wanted to be like, hey, let's hang out, smoke some weed, and like,
Yeah,
chill,
I just came to
whatever.
hang out pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, so even too, like, you know how I was saying earlier, like I was like on that live thing the other night, I was like wanted to try and control the conversation, which you can do and you should do in a podcast in some scenarios. But like, point is that at some point I was like, oh shit, I should try and like focus more on like talking about your fucking music and shit and like go back into that. But I was just like, well, like, I don't want it to be like, okay, next, like, let's get into that. So I didn't want to like change the subject, and I
no.
felt like we were just.
But that's why I
going,
called you
so-
on the rapper thing. It's just like I feel like right now, like I'm not telling you about my music, but you're learning about me right now. So
Yeah.
this is my brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If you like what I'm saying, you like my personality, you're probably gonna want to listen to my music more
That's
than just
true.
like, yo, listen to this now. Like,
Yeah.
Google this, go on your phone right
Yeah,
now. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I'm not selling you a car, like not a used car. You know what I mean? Like, I'm selling me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's here. Like,
Well,
like,
and that's
if you like
true
me,
too.
you don't. If we get along, you know what I mean? It could be awkward for 3 hours when you're
Yeah.
on a
Oh yeah.
podcast. It's like, all right, is this guy gonna say something?
Oh well, we
Yeah.
had a couple people, like, not too bad, but we had a couple people. I remember one guy was like you couldn't get him to talk. Like,
Yeah, you get
we were
nervous,
like-
you get awkward at first.
yeah, like trying to ask him questions and shit, and he's like, yeah. And
Was
I'm
he
like,
going for that? Was that the mystique? Like, I get that.
maybe, yeah. He did end up like,
I feel like if I did that, no one would get it and be like, "Yo, this guy does not want to talk."
yeah, what's
Yeah.
wrong with this
I have
guy?
to be
Like,
really famous to be able to just like, yeah.
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 Otherwise, like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? Get him out of here.
But yeah, fucking. I mean, he talked a bit, but I just felt like it was hard. Like, fucking, some people like yourself, like, it was like say one thing and then you're just like
Having a
go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I've been there, of course.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I'm just, that's what we go for. Like I said, we don't want to be like drilling them with fucking questions and like, oh, next, and like, okay, yeah, so now that we're done with this, like, let's do this next thing, you know. But yeah, so that's what we go for. A little conversation. So I'm glad you felt that.
Hey.
But however, what's the fucking next song coming out on the 21st?
So March 21st, I got Freak coming out.
Freak. Okay, yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah.
nice. I got a video with it, some girls, nice car. It goes hard, bro. The song's short, but yo, honestly, you guys will be impressed. Like I go crazy on this. Like you want some bars from me, like no soft shit, like you'll fuck with.
Let's
Dope.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay, sick, man.
21st.
Man, is that holy shit? That's Sunday, eh?
Yeah, man.
Coming
I don't
up
waste no
soon.
time, man.
Oh shit.
And it's
coming
on to the
soon.
next one. On to the next
Yeah.
one. On to the
It's,
next one.
Fucking right. But like you say, you already got your fucking next step plan too.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
Get my business right.
Yeah, that's right. All right, you heard it here first. Fucking go check out At the Ocean. Ocean spelled Oc34n.
Like the sweater says.
On the nice.
Working
Yeah,
on merch right now. This is just testing, you know. Just trying to see. You know?
fucking right, man. Love the pants too, man.
Yo,
But
that
anyways,
old school rock. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, like I said, the ocean in the building. Thanks for coming out. Thanks again, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Styles the Prophet, baby.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
And this is the 4G Audio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Your grandma's favorite podcast.
Hey.
Now get out of here.
Catch y'all in the
Boys.
next one.